You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's a good time roll.
Play ball! Are you ready to let the good times roll? Are you ready for Kernels baseball? The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, and the Class A affiliate of the Anaheim Angels welcome you to Cedar Rapids Kernels baseball. Now in his ninth season as the voice of the Kernels, here's John Rogers.
Cedar Rapids Kernels, it's a good time roll.
Welcome to the state capital of Michigan. The Kernels bounced back from a heartbreaking 2-1 loss on Saturday night, the series opener here, a game in which Jesse Smith, the Kernels starter, retired 18 of the last 19 Lugnuts he faced, a game in which Jesse Smith, Colonel right-hander, retired the last 13 batters in the Lansing scheme of things, and the Kernels yesterday behind Chris Hunter, who posted a season-high strikeout total of 8, blanked the Lugnuts 5-0. A 2-run homer by Matt Pauley, his 10th of the year, capped the Kernels' 3-run fourth inning. The Kernels then tacked on 2 insurance runs in the 7th and pulled even with the Lugnuts on the season series. Each ball club has won 3 of the 6 regular season meetings. We've been informed that there'll be a slight delay in tonight's ball game. Hard to explain why. It's dry. The field has been prepared, but they've told us to expect a delay of 15 to 20 minutes in tonight's opening of Game 3. We will keep on our regular time schedule, however. Up next on the dugout interview is Colonel right-hander Ronnie Ray. Ronnie was a fixture in the Colonel starting rotation as a 19-year-old last season, and he's already pitched well in a start and a relief appearance since joining us from the rookie league ranks of Provo about a week ago. Stand by for the dugout interview with Ronnie Ray. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on The Zone.
When searching for a professional logistics team of experts to handle your warehousing operations, look to Worley Warehousing. Worley Warehousing will help you achieve greater efficiencies by providing superior warehouse facilities, technological advancements, and expert professionals. By focusing on technological innovations and keen foresight, Worley Warehousing has grown into one of our nation's leading warehousing operations. Worley Warehousing, your single source for all of your warehousing and distribution needs.
Who cares what's in a hot dog? This country was built on the principle that wretched refuse could be made great. So when the tofu-obsessed among us ask what the hot dog is made of, well, the High Life man turns the question back on the questioner. You, sir, what are you made of? What spice do you add to the national knockwurst? No, you do not ask of the hot dog. The hot dog asks of you. Are you man enough to live the High Life? Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA.
Game 3 from Lansing pitched the Kernels and Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. The Kernels dropped a heartbreaker here in the series opener Saturday night, 2-1, but bounced back with a 5-0 shutout win as Chris Hunter struck out his season-high 8 in 7 innings to notch his 9th win of the season. And prior to the third game of this 4-game series, we get together for the first time this season with a familiar name from last year. Ronnie Ray joins us. And Ronnie, I remember Todd Klaus, our skipper, last year when you joined us saying, boy, John, we've got a young pup here to bring under our wings. And you were only 19 years old, yet you got to start 20 games for our ball club last year. Now that you look back on it, Ronnie, was it a valuable experience, or do you think you were rushed a little bit?
I think it's a valuable experience for me because it helped me get through some adversity. As last year, I did all right, but then I had some bad games as well, and it helped me get through that, and I think I'm a lot better and more experienced this year.
Well, that's a good way to look at it, Ronnie. Getting 20 starts in this Midwest League as a 19-year-old, it puts into perspective what a great job a guy like Kevin Jebson has done, who's only 19 years old. During the off season, what do the Angels suggest you do as a course of action in your young professional career?
Well, we got to all have a workout plan, and I did that pretty strictly, and I did some long toss and helped get the velo back and everything like that. So I feel a lot stronger this year than I did last year.
Ronnie, you even look stronger, and part of that is going from 19 to 20. You're still maturing physically, but what were some of the specific things you did in the off season, and did you have someone as a training partner or someone as a personal trainer, or how did you keep motivated?
Well, simply motivation is to get better and to obviously make the big leagues. Well, I did a lot of legs to get my legs real strong, which I think that's a key, I think, in my abs. And that stuff, I didn't have a training partner. I pretty much worked out by myself, but motivation was definitely just to get better.
You look stronger in the upper body as well. Do you do push-ups? Do you do bench presses? How do you get stronger in the upper body as well as the legs and abs?
Well, we're not really supposed to do bench press during the season, but in the off-season I do bench, and I do a lot of back and some curls and all that stuff and push-ups as well.
Ronnie, your first start was magnificent. In fact, you played a role in your recent promotion to the Kernels in both of our wins on our recent 7-game homestand. We floundered a bit. We went 2-5 at home, but you came in a week ago Sunday and tossed 6 shutout innings, and then you helped us out late in the game in another win. You were a starter last year. It looks like down the stretch here that Eric Bennett and the Kernels will use you mainly in relief. Are you still kind of open as a young professional to what role you'll play with the Angels, or do you see yourself being a starter or reliever?
I think I do better out of the pen, I think. I mean, my first year I was with the organization, I was a reliever for half the season, then I went to starting. And then this year I started as a starter, and then ended up in the bullpen. And then I came up here, I was like, well, I'll be in the bullpen. And then all of a sudden, that Saturday or whatever, Friday, whenever it was, Benny's like, yeah, you're going to be a spot starter on Sunday. I'm like, hey, whatever. I've been doing it all year, so starting and relieving, it didn't really matter to me. But
well, it's interesting to hear you say that because Jesse Smith, who pitched brilliantly here in the series opener Saturday in Lansing, the 2-1 Colonel loss, Jesse had his best outing of the year. He said he would like to start down the road. Now, he's a lot older than you. He's 24 years old. What appeals to you right now in your young career, Ronnie? What do you like about coming out of the pen?
Well, I think for me, I have a lot more intensity when I come out of the pen. I feel like I'm more focused and ready to go. As a starter, you got that whole 30 minutes and all that stuff getting ready for the game. And it takes a little bit out of you, and you got to stay focused. And I think there's a little more pressure on you, too, as a starter because you want to pitch well for the team. And so I think when you come out of the bullpen, you're just like, hey, I got to get after this guy right away and attack him. So that's the way I feel.
It sounds almost more like you like the mentality of a reliever more than a starter.
That's true. I like the mentality better. It gets me ready to go.
Ronnie Ray's our dugout interview guest from Lansing's Oldsmobile Park. And, Ronnie, I asked Jesse Smith about this yesterday on the dugout interview with the Keith Vogelman, our strength and conditioning coach, leaving for a position at Texas Tech. The head strength and conditioning coach in all the Anaheim minor league system, Trent Clark, has joined us. And some of the pitchers kind of have a look of fear or trepidation in their eye when they heard Trent Clark was coming. And I think that's more of out of respect to Trent. You probably know Trent pretty well because didn't you work some with him way back this spring and early this summer when you were in Mesa?
Yes, I did. I mean, he's a good guy, and he works us really hard, and I think that's real well because it keeps us in shape for the whole year and everything. And, I mean, hopefully he doesn't work us too hard since we got the playoffs coming up, but I think he'll keep us in good shape and get us ready for the playoffs.
Well, I think I agree wholeheartedly, Ronnie. I think that's what Trent is here to do. We're going to take a break from Oldsmobile Park in Lansing. It's an overcast Monday evening, and the Kernels are going to play the third game of a 4-game series, with the series even at a game apiece against the Lansing Lugnuts, the Chicago Cub minor leaguers here in the Midwest League. We'll finish our dugout interview up with Colonel right-handed relief pitcher Ronnie Ray in just a moment. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Hey, man, what's up? Just getting ready to kick your butt. Right. And mess up your hair? You just wish you could look this good. No, nothing but that. Hey, I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to make my hair look as good as yours. I mean, who has time to schedule an appointment, let alone show up for it? Not me. I just go to Cost Cutters. I can get in whenever it's convenient for me. Nice shot. Yeah. So you're telling me you just walk into Cost Cutters and come out looking good? Well, for some of us, that comes naturally. But Cost Cutters makes it easier. They can do anything you want. A cool cut, even some color, and get some of that styling gel stuff to keep you looking good. Like me. Oh, so that's why your hair never moves. Oh, you're funny. Cost Cutters. Thanks, man. This will save me some time. Great. Then you'll have time to work on your game. Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Are you a busy guy? Save yourself time and walk into one of our area's 12 Cost Cutters whenever it's convenient for you. Then relax, because Cost Cutters will make things easy and affordable for you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Ronnie Ray's our guest on the Dugout interview. Ronnie's in his third year of professional baseball. He's still only 20 years old. And, Ronnie, I know that it's never easy for a youngster coming out of high school to decide whether professional baseball is the route to go or whether they should play junior college or Division I, and you had those same challenging choices. Tell us about it.
Well, coming out of high school, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to college or not. I mean, I didn't really like school, and it was either didn't want to go to four-year school because then it's just in case, it'll be longer before I get drafted, so that was a possibility. And I was probably going to end up going to junior college because I thought that would fit me a lot better than going to a four-year school.
And then did the Angels scout you pretty heavily in the high school ranks of the St. Louis area, or did they take one or two looks at you and know that they liked what they saw?
Well, actually, it seemed like they were there, like my senior year, every time I pitched. So I felt like they were the ones more after me than any other team. I mean, I got looked at by some other teams, but it just seemed like they were actually more than any other teams.
Well, finally, Ronnie, I know some of our listeners may have seen this, some may have not, but a very interesting segment on ESPN's Outside the Lines this past weekend. They talked to Tom Candiotti, a former knuckleballer and also an orthopedics or a surgeon, about the proliferation of Tommy John surgeries. And they weren't saying that Tommy John surgeries aren't good and effective, but they're concerned that too many young kids are having Tommy John surgery, 14, 15, 16-year-olds. You've pitched a lot in your young career. When did your father and coaches let you start throwing things other than a fastball?
Well, as a youngster, I really didn't pitch a whole lot, but, I mean, I've pitched, here and there. And my stepdad, actually, he would not let me throw any breaking balls at all. The only pitches I could throw was a fastball and changeup. And if I would sneak a curveball in there or something, he would take me out of the game right there. So I knew not to throw the breaking ball. And so I never started throwing breaking balls until I got in high school.
And that sounds like the formula to keep a young kid on the right path.
That's what I think so, because I don't think you're fully developed when you're younger to be throwing curveballs and everything. So stick with fastball and changeup.
So, Ronnie, thank you for that piece of advice, because that's exactly the conclusion they came to on ESPN's Outside the Lines segment this past weekend. Ronnie, we're on the longest road trip of our season, but we will be coming back to eastern Iowa on Wednesday to start our commute to Clinton, and we'd like you to stop into any of the area Zio Giano's Italian spaghetti houses for homemade pasta, perfect bread, the best in Italian cuisine. Colonel right-hander Ronnie Ray, you've already given us a big boost, and I know you'll be an integral part of our stretch drive. Thank you so much, Ronnie.
Thank you, John.
Up next, starting lineups, Kernels and Lugnuts, Game 3 here at Oldsmobile Park. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurants have something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco, limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
Here's a fact about the new Veterans Memorial Stadium I bet you didn't know. All of the grounds surrounding our community's newest source of pride are maintained by Greg's Lawn Service. That's right, it's Greg's Lawn Service that provides you with that initial lift when you approach our magnificent new ballpark. Greg's Lawn Service can put their first-class signature on your yard, elevating it to the same immaculate condition you see around the stadium. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest since 1983.
Well, greetings from the state capital of Michigan, Eastern Iowa, and to all our loyal listeners who listen from coast to coast on the Internet. I'm John Rogers, and we are hoping to break ahead in this series with the Lansing Lugnuts. We've had two well-played games to start the series. Both ball clubs arrived early in the morning on Saturday, the Kernels at 8:30 after a home game against South Bend. The Lugnuts had the misfortune of the brakes failing on their motor coach, so they didn't get here until 11:30 on Saturday morning, and it was Lansing, despite a heroic pitching effort from right-hander Jesse Smith. Lansing outdueled the Kernels 2-1 Saturday night. The Kernels, who have played well on Sunday all season long, came back and blanked the Lugnuts behind Chris Hunter's magnificent hurling 8-strikeout performance 5-0 yesterday. It's 69 degrees and overcast, and we've been told this game may be delayed by up to 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll get to that eventuality in a moment because we have a loyal friend who's going to visit with us if there is a delay on the start of this game. Mike Clark is standing by. He's visited with us before during broadcasts. He's also served as our dugout interview guest numerous times, and Mike has agreed kindly to talk it over with us. We're going to maintain, though, the idea that this game may well still start on time, although I see neither starting pitcher warming up. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll give you the starting lineup for each ball club and then set the scene, and then Mike Clark will join us and talk a little bit about the season the Lugnuts have had, as well as some issues that I'm sure all of you parents and youngsters who are embarking on fall athletic seasons would like to hear. Mike is an expert in the area of not only training coaches and communicating with parents, but also making sure that athletics are fun and that kids don't burn out and that they have a great experience. And those are certainly topics that we can all have be refreshed on here late in the summer, early in the fall. First of all, the lineup, for this evening's contest. This is the 7th game between our two clubs. The Kernels and Lansing split 4 over the Memorial Day weekend in New Veterans Memorial Stadium. And as I said a moment ago, we have divided this series so far, Lansing winning 2-1 Saturday night and the Kernels 5-0 yesterday. The skipper is Julio Garcia, and his lineup is very potent. The center fielder, the Kernels have managed to keep him off base 7 out of 8 times in this series, leads the league in stolen bases. Chris Walker leads off for Lansing, a league-high 59 steals. He's in center field for the Lugnuts. Switch hitter Tony McQuaid is in right field. He'll bat second. Hitting third, the guy who I think will win the MVP award in the Midwest League, designated hitting tonight, Brian Doperik. Doperik is tied for the league lead in runs scored, leads the league in extra base hits, has 36 home runs, tops in the circuit, second in RBIs with 102. Brian Doperik, a feared slugger, is batting third for the Lugnuts. Batting cleanup, giving another home run hitter, Kevin Collins, the night off. Batting cleanup at first base for Lansing is Drew Larson. He's no slouch. He's belted 10 home runs. Larson is batting cleanup at first for Lansing. The catcher is Jake Fox. He's out of the University of Michigan, and he'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, he's played in 24 games for the Lugnuts. He had 2 hits yesterday. Anthony Granado, second baseman. Granado was signed by Chicago as a free agent out of Virginia Commonwealth. The third baseman hits 7th, and that's Alberto Garcia. Hitting 8th, he's in the throes of an 0-for-16 slump, Carlos Rojas, the shortstop. And batting 9th in left field, he's from the Hawkeye State, from Iowa, Ryan Fitzgerald, seeing his first action in this series, batting 9th. On the hill for Lansing, an 11-game winner, Billy Petrick. Billy is 11-6, an ERA of 3.51. Pitched very well his last start. That was Wednesday up in Appleton, Wisconsin. A no decision in a Lugnut 2-1 loss. But Petrick spun 5 2/3 shutout innings at the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, giving up just 4 hits in 5 2/3, striking out 9 in 5 2/3, walking 2. Billy Petrick, just 20 years old, a Cub third-round draft pick in 2002 out of Morris, Illinois. That's just south of Chicagoland. Billy Petrick is a huge 20-year-old, 6'6", 240. And he came on in relief of big leaguer Ryan Dempster back on Memorial Day at New Veterans Memorial Stadium. A game that the Kernels would like to forget about as the Lugnuts drubbed us 13-1 Billy Petrick got the win in relief of Ryan Dempster, hurling 6 shutout innings at the Kernels, giving us just 4 hits. That's how the Lugnuts will line up. Allen Motor Company is now proud to present the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. There are only 9 days left in Allen's I-380 clearance sale. It's the time to buy. All the cars at Allen's are marked at their lowest prices of the year. And GM has increased incentives. You can now save $9,000 on 2004 GMC Envoy XLs and XUVs during Allen's I-380 clearance sale. Save $10,500 now at Allen's on 2004 GMC Yukon XL and Denali's. And get this, 2004 GMC Sierra regular cab 2-wheel drive pickups are only $15,495 right now during Allen's I-380 clearance sale. Hurry in, though. The sale only lasts for another 9 days, and Allen's is open late tonight until 9 o'clock. Visit Allen Motor Company for the best prices and savings of the year. Our Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup for Game 3 of our 4-game series with Lansing. Howie Kendrick and his .357 average lead off at second. Batting second, he's tied for the league in triples with 12. Switch hitting center fielder Quan Cosby. At first base, the red-hot Baltazar Lopez. Lopez is on a hitting tear, has his average up to .316. He put the Kernels ahead in the 4th in a scoreless game yesterday with his 12th double of the year. Baltazar Lopez batting third at first. The Kernel cleanup batter is Bobby Wilson. He'll be catching this evening. Hitting 5th in the Allen Motor Company order is Blake Balcom in left field. The leading home run hitter for the Kernels, an RBI man, is Matt Brown. He'll be at the hot corner and hit 6th. In right field, Warner Madrigal. Madrigal is batting 7th. Hitting 8th, the Kernel All-Star shortstop, Brandon Wood. He got yesterday off. And playing for the second time, batting 9th for the second time in a row, and serving as the Kernel designated hitter, Michael Collins, the Australian. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup on the hill, 6'5" lefty, Nick Touchstone. Nick has won 7, lost 5. His last start was a no decision Wednesday at home against South Bend, a 6-3 Kernel loss to the Silverhawks. Nick Touchstone has won 7, lost 5. His ERA is 3.90. He was on the receiving end of the Kernel 13-1 loss to these Lansing Lugnuts back on Memorial Day at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's an overcast 69-degree evening, and Anderson and Brown Eye Care is now proud to present our Anderson and Brown Eye Care umpiring duo, Dixon Sturman behind the plate, Bobby Price on the diamond. This team of umpires has to focus on the goal of getting the calls right in this game. That ability to focus is a necessity. Anderson and Brown Eye Care can help make sure your eyes focus properly for the everyday calls you have to get correct. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, your family eye care center, they invite you to stop in for a before-school eye checkup for your entire family. They have locations inside LensCrafters in Westdale Mall, Coral Ridge Mall, as well as North Park Mall in Davenport. Well, both hurlers have just started to warm up. The lights are on here at Oldsmobile Park, and as we suspected, we're going to have a slight delay in tonight's game, and so kind to join us is Mike Clark. And Mike, what an exciting time of year this is for all the families in eastern Iowa and central Michigan, the schools, the teachers, the elementary, junior high, and high school kids. There's nothing like the start of a new school year.
Yeah, that's right. I was out this afternoon with a friend of mine who's coaching varsity cross country, and we don't actually start school until next Monday, but the kids were out practicing, the cheerleaders were out practicing, the football team was there, the tennis team actually had a match, and school hasn't even started yet. So it was fun. It's always fun to see the kids. They're excited about getting the year off to a start, and it was fun being around them. They're enthusiastic, ready to go.
Well, Mike, you have a great background in the field of education, and just as a review, for years you headed the Institute for Sport Study and Management.
No, actually, I was just a cog in the wheel.
Yes, at Michigan State.
Yes, we were at Michigan State. It's called the Institute for the Study of Youth Sports, and I was there for 11 years, and we have a new director on board out there now, and hopefully we'll find the funding that has supported so many excellent research opportunities and products coming from the institute, and we'll be back out there full time.
Mike, is the funding for such a noble cause that you've been involved with come from the state, the university, or through private grants?
Well, a little bit of it is general funds from the university, but most of the budget is made up from grants, and it's obviously difficult times out there for everybody in the public sector, especially those people who are dependent upon grants. There's more competition for fewer grants, and so what you do get is smaller, doesn't last as long, that sort of thing, and it's really made it very difficult to keep places like that going. And I've talked with people at other institutions that are having the same problem almost everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you're grant dependent, everybody is on a real short leash right now.
And is that a function of the economy in general? Is it a function of all the state budgets being in disarray? I know we have our challenges cut out for us in Iowa.
Right.
Is it a function of the stock market? Are there better times ahead, possibly?
There are. My wife is involved in state government here in Michigan, and she's saying that what they're hearing, it's still going to be fiscal 2006 before it really turns around in this state. We have some other issues that we're dealing with. We've had a number of plant closings, and it's becoming increasingly clear that the manufacturing sector, which has supported so much of the Michigan economy for so long, is just in serious trouble. And
even the automobile industry.
Even the automobile industry, and they're making a lot of cars and they're selling a lot of cars, but as you said in your announcement early, they're having to have all sorts of incentives, and
it's a buyer's market,
right? And as a result, that's cutting into everybody's margin, and it translates into less money here in this state and less money in the national economy, and it is very difficult. Part of it's the economy, part of it is the state budget. Just a whole host of things have made it very difficult in the public sector recently. So.
Well, I think better days are on the way. No matter who wins the presidential election, it's all going to be the matter of the country's resiliency and our work ethic, and Americans have always led the way in those two areas. Mike Clark has been kind enough to talk with us before the start of this ball game between the Kernels and Lugnuts. And Mike, it's unusual to have a game delayed due to a radar, because they've been saying we start the game on time no matter what. And
right.
You said this has been done one other time at Olds Park, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to you either.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, the other time we had exactly the same situation. They looked at the radar and thought we were going to get poured on, and that night we were like, we'd had some rain earlier in the day, so they had to prep the field very quickly, even for a 7:05 start. And it turned out that we were delayed almost 35 minutes that night, and we didn't have any rain at all. I mean, it just meant that we finished up about 10 o'clock rather than about 9:30.
Well, let's hope the same thing happens tonight. The umpires are coming out.
Right. It's funny. We have some interesting patterns here. A lot of times we get weather that looks like it's going to roll in, and it either goes north past the stadium or stays south and misses it. And there have been times when we had a downpour here, and I was on my way in and drove almost all the way to the park in dry conditions, got to the park, and we had like a 35-minute rain delay. It's just really strange, really, really strange around here sometimes.
Well, both clubs are warming up, and the umpires have, they were coming out of the tunnel, and now I don't see where, they're still in the tunnel. Mike, this is a very fun time of year, as you said at the outset, with grade school, junior high, middle school, high school kids starting their fall athletic seasons. And one of the many things that you're committed to now you're doing evaluation of athletic management, and that encompasses a number of things. But Iowa is fortunate to have a certification program so that you can't coach in the public area unless you're certified, and that's very good. But most of youngsters' first experiences are with volunteer coaches on the court, the sandlot, the gridiron, and it's very important that first experience be a positive one in terms of learning fundamentals, having fun, sticking with the sport. What are some things that you strive to do to make sure that those volunteer coaches, 95% of them who mean well, and how do you get them trained?
Well, we have, over the years, done a variety of things. I've been involved with clinics, and so many times coaches are a lot more interested, volunteer coaches certainly, and even high school coaches are a lot more interested in X's and O's and strategy than they are in some of the other issues that coaches are faced with. So when we go out to do a clinic, we might have a 3-hour session with some basketball coaches, say on a Saturday morning, or baseball coaches, softball coaches, whatever. And we try to spend the first hour or so in terms of how you communicate with kids, what we actually know about how kids learn. Everybody talks about it. Even professional coaches will talk about how. By professional coaches, I mean coaches at the professional level in baseball and basketball and football and that sort of thing. How they will talk about their primary job is teaching. And if that's in fact the case, we really need to come at it sometimes from the direction of what we know is good educational practice. You get their attention, you give them an idea of what they're going to learn, you give them the opportunity to master a skill, the drill stuff, and then you criticize, and so often that's what coaches think of when they're coaching. They're being critical and taking apart performance, and that's part of the job. But then you have to communicate how to correct poor performance or support the idea that you've got partial learning, especially with young kids. They'll learn part of a skill and not be able to execute the entire skill. So, we spend time talking about those sorts of things, and then we spend some time with volunteer coaches especially, so that they get a better sense of some of the fundamentals of the game. You see it here. So often, people come to the ballpark and they see half the play. They don't see the full play. They don't see the people lined up for the cutoff. They don't see the backups. Just the next time you're at the ballpark and there's a runner on say third, just watch how every time the ball goes back to the pitcher, the middle infielders come across, just in case it gets away that one time.
Or how the catcher hustles up the line on every ground ball.
On every ground ball. And if you don't, that roving instructor is going to be on your rear end the next chance he gets, kind of thing. So that's one of the things that we try to help volunteer coaches learn.
Now, with the Institute, and we're about to see the Lugnuts take the field, and we have to let Mike scoot so he can perform his official scoring duties. But Mike is and I'm sorry, we've covered a lot, but the game is starting, they said 7:20, and it's going to be more like 7:15.
They're still talking down there. They're still having their meeting at home plate, so the two managers are still going over things. But anyway.
Mike, would the new group you've founded, you and 3 colleagues, Total Evaluation of Athletic Management, you still are committed and are very excited about doing what you just described, which is teaching the coaches and the volunteer parents how, what, giving them feedback, and you can still do that. Now, is this something you'd like to do locally in Michigan, or would you like to share your phone number and website with our great folks in Iowa?
We will talk to anybody who's interested in talking with us, and we have some things that can actually be done kind of long distance. Interestingly, we've done a fair amount with the people at Western Iowa Community College.
Is that right?
Yeah, out in Sioux City.
That's neat, Mike.
And I know that your community colleges in Iowa are all linked. And they do a lot of stuff where one community college will offer the program and everybody else can feed into it. So actually, the guy out of Western Iowa has done quite a bit with some of our activities. But no, we have some things that we are doing. We're in fact piloting a program development effort this very fall with a couple of high school coaches, with the idea in mind of some things that they can do really benefit their athletes and make their program run more smoothly for them.
What coach and parent and athlete wouldn't like that as a bonus to their program? The Lugnuts are coming on the field, and Mike, we're so glad that you were able to visit with us and hope that things go well for you this fall. And I know you're heading up a cross-country program in Holt, a junior high program, and thanks for sharing with us. We're going to pause now at Oldsmobile Park as the national anthem singer is behind the dirt batting circle facing home plate. Mike Clark, thank you so much, and we look forward to Mike's going to give myself and a couple of our ball players a tour of Michigan State tomorrow. Let's pause to honor America with the singing of the national anthem. Of the national anthem from Oldsmobile Park, a small gathering to be expected on a Monday night, the first day back in school. We're delighted that you're spending your Monday evening with us. A slight delay in the start. They expected showers, but nothing developed, and it'll be a couple of tall pitchers. 6'6" right-hander Billy Petrick for Lansing, and 6'5" southpaw Nick Touchstone for the Kernels. The lights are on. It's 69 degrees, and tonight's action is next. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
At Zimmerman's, we believe that the voice of the customer speaks the loudest. Let's hear what our customers have to say.
We chose Zimmerman because our family has been buying cars. I guess we're probably the third generation to buy cars here at Zimmerman.
My family's bought 18 cars at Zimmerman's. 18. I ought to get a little bonus or something, wasn't it?
We build our reputation on one satisfied customer at a time. On behalf of everyone at Zimmerman's, I want to thank you for your business.
With this four-game series tied at a game apiece, it'll be Howie Kendrick, Juan Cosby, and Baltazar Lopez to face 6'6" right-hander Billy Petrick, 11-6, a 3.51 ERA, and a 13-1 winner over the Kernels on Memorial Day. A game that the Lugnuts started former big leaguer Ryan Dempster in. He went 3 innings. Petrick pitched 6 shutout innings to garner the win. And Howie Kendrick is first up this evening. Strike one on the inside corner at the knees to Howie. We're underway in Lansing. 18 minutes behind the scheduled start. Howie batting .357 on the 0-1 delivery. Kendrick rips it fair past third. Extra bases into the left field corner. Howie Kendrick is steaming towards second as the left fielder Fitzgerald fumbles it but gets it back into the cutoff man. Howie Kendrick, who tripled in yesterday's Kernel win in the 7th inning that drove in a run and raised the Kernel lead to 4-0. Howie has cranked an 0-1 pitch fair past third down the left field line to open this game up for the Kernels. Now Quan Cosby will have the challenge of trying to pull the ball on the ground or perhaps bunt Howie Kendrick, the runner at second, over to third. Howie Kendrick starts the Kernel evening with a spark as he doubles past third. A strike is in from the right-hander Petrick, who is 11-6, that he's making his 22nd start of the year. Billy pitched 5 2/3 shutout innings at Appleton last Wednesday, but was not involved in the decision. Quan bunts foul into the Kernel third base dugout, strike 2. Very poor bunt attempt that time by Cosby. Quan hitting .245, 3 home runs, 30 RBIs, and we're going to keep hoping that Quan can master that so difficult art of bunting. If Quan could get some of his bunt attempts between the white lines, look out, he's going to be something. Quan got yesterday off. He did not play. And he takes strike 3 at the knees. Quan Cosby, unable, the key man in the Kernel first inning, unable to put the ball in play. He squared the bunt and took a fastball at the knees. A 3-pitch strikeout for Billy Petrick of Quan Cosby. That was a tough at-bat for Quan. He looked overmatched, and perhaps the day off had him a little bit out of sync with his timing. Baltazar Lopez will now have to get a hit, and he does through the left side. Howie Kendrick will have to hold it third. Baltazar Lopez stroked it past the shortstop into left, and it's first and third with only 1 out for Bobby Wilson. Baltazar Lopez is on some kind of hitting tear. He broke a scoreless tie yesterday in the 4th inning when he went the other way and doubled over the head of the left fielder Kevin Collins. Here in the 1st inning tonight, he's zipped one to the right of the shortstop Carlos Rojas into left, and that puts Howie Kendrick at third. Let's see now. With Bobby Wilson batting, Baltazar Lopez is now 10-12. Baltazar is 12 for his last 25. 12 for his last 25. That's almost 500. Bobby Wilson now at the plate to face Billy Petrick, and Bobby loops one into center. This should score the run from third. Chris Walker is there in center. He has it. Tagging from third is Kendrick, and Howie scores, sliding across the plate ahead of the peg by Chris Walker. Howie Kendrick has scored on a Bobby Wilson sacrifice fly here in the top of the 1st inning. Bobby Wilson didn't waste any time coming through with his 64th run driven into the season. And it's 1-0 Kernels here in the opening frame. That's a great way to start. Kendrick doubled. Quan struck out on 3 pitches. Baltazar Lopez singled Howie to third, and Bobby Wilson brings him home on a sacrifice fly to medium center. Blake Balcom jumps on the first pitch and golfs it into right. 2 steps back, Tony McQuaid has it. Blake Balcom sent the first pitch soaring into right for the final out of the Kernel 1st inning. The Kernels strike for a run on 2 hits. There were no Lugnut errors, and the Kernels leave a runner aboard. And with Nick Touchstone on the hill, the Kernels, after 1/2 inning, won, and the Lugnuts coming to bat. You're enjoying Kernel baseball on the Zone.
Winning requires determination, energy, power. At Alliant Energy, we know the power of teamwork. Our team gives its all every day to deliver reliable power to you. We're committed to meet the growing needs of our customers. Delivering safe and environmentally friendly energy keeps us focused. Our dedication to serve our customers keeps us on our game. And that's a winning combination.
Alliant Energy, we're on for you.
Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support one of our community's most renowned and cherished assets, the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees believe in the core values that comprise the essence of Kernel baseball: fun, wholesome, affordable entertainment for us all. As you look ahead to the many joys of summer, your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees encourage you to visit the fabulous new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees, embracing Kernel baseball, a community treasure.
The Zone 2004 Best Bar and Grill Tour is almost over. 4 teams have stepped up to meet the challenge of this noontime smackdown. There can only be one best. This is where you come in. You must decide who will be numero uno. Is it the Chrome Horse Saloon, Chappie's Safari Lounge, Cabo Bar and Grill, or the Double Inn? Take the taste test. Then go online to thezone1600.com and cast your vote. Eat often, vote often. The Zone's 2004 Best Bar and Grill Tour, because a man's gotta eat, don't he?
1-0 Kernels after 1/2 inning. Howie Kendrick got it started in the top of this first inning by doubling past third after Juan Cosby was retired on strikes. Lopez singled into left, moving Howie over to third, and then Bobby Wilson delivered the runner home from third. Kendrick with his 64th RBI of the year, a sacrifice fly to center. The Kernels for the third straight game are in their red knit batting practice tops, gray trousers, but a new look on the hats this evening. The Kernels have worn their all-red caps the first 2 games of the series, but tonight they're wearing their all-navy blue road caps. Switch hitter Chris Walker, the league's leading base stealer, is set to go, and he takes the first pitch high and away from lefty Nick Touchstone. Nick is 7-5, making his 20th start of the year. A fastball is high and outside, and it's 2-0 to Chris Walker. Walker with a .287 average, batting right-handed for the first time in this series. He's 1 for 8. Fastball, a strike, according to Dixon Sturman, the plate umpire. Chris Walker's 24 years old, a Cubs 6th-round pick 2 years ago out of Georgia Southern University. Open stance, right-handed hitter, and he pops one in the air to the left side of the Colonel infield. Calling off Matt Brown as the shortstop, and in on the edge of the grass, it is the shortstop, Brandon Wood, who makes the play. Chris Walker is retired on a pop-up to shallow short, and Nick Touchstone came back from a 2-0 count to get Chris Walker. 1 out, and the batter, Tony McQuaid, he's a switch hitter batting right. The Lugnuts are in white home uniforms with black socks, black numbers trimmed in red, and they have red and black piping running up the side of their white home pants. Most of them are wearing black sleeves underneath their white home jerseys. Nick Touchstone with a changeup in at the knees for a strike. This Lansing ball club ranked 4th in the league in hitting, batting .261. Strike 2 on the outside corner from the Colonel southpaw, a fastball, and that prompts Matt Brown to take a few steps back at normal depth at third. McQuaid bounces one foul over the Colonel's third base dugout. We've had crowds of over 11 and 5,000 the first 2 games of this series, a much sparser turnout this evening. I'd say we have in the neighborhood of 1,800 or so. Another 0-2 to Tony McQuaid is a changeup in the dirt for a ball. Bobby Wilson's catching for the second straight game. A Colonel infield of Matt Brown at third. Brandon Wood is pulled around deep in the hole at short. Howie Kendrick at second, and Baltazar Lopez at first. Tony McQuaid can't catch up to a blistering fastball high and away, and Nick Touchstone is fanned, the number 2 hitter in the Lansing order. 2 gone in the Lugnut first inning. 1-0 Kernels. The Colonel outfield this evening has Blake Balcom in left, Quan Cosby in center, and playing very deep in right is Warner Madrigal. They're playing deep for Brian DePerick. DePerick appears to be headed for the league MVP award. The right-handed batter grounds one to deep short. It's cut off by Matt Brown at third, and he sidearms it to first to get Brian DePerick. Brian DePerick swung at the first pitch from the Colonel southpaw and bounces out to third. What a terrific opening to his 20th start of the year. In Lansing, Nick Touchstone has retired the Lugnuts in order. And after 1 inning, the Kernels lead the Lugnuts 1-0, and you're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Solid Waste and Recycling Services remind you how to prepare your garbage for curbside collection.
Oh, tell me more.
Make sure you use a 35-gallon garbage can or a large plastic bag. The weight limit is 40 pounds. If you have more garbage than fits in your can or bag, or weighs more than 40 pounds, buy a sticker.
How much are they?
A $1.25 sticker is required for each additional garbage can or bag you set out.
Where can I buy one?
You can buy garbage stickers at any grocery, convenience, or drugstore.
Your husband has a sore throat and he's whimpering about getting it checked. That's when you make a mental note to yourself, must find family doctor.
How do you find the right doctor for your family?
It was easier than I thought. I called the number, and 3 minutes later, I had the names of 3 doctors who were in my neighborhood and were taking new patients.
Just call the Mercy Care referral line at 369-4444.
My Mercy Care doctor doesn't rush me out of the room with me saying, but what about, how do I? They take the time to answer my questions, even the silly ones.
It's that extra understanding, compassion, and care that Mercy Care community physicians practice every day.
So I got that doctor thing figured out. Now what do I do about that whimpering husband?
Find the right doctor for your family. Just call 369-4444 or find out more about our family doctors on the web at www.mercycaredoctors.com. Finding a doctor you really like. That's real life. That's the Mercy Touch.
Third baseman Matt Brown threw out the league's leading home run hitter Brian Doperik to end a 1-2-3 inning in the Lansing first. Matt Brown, a right-handed hitter, facing righty Billy Petrick, who delivers high and inside ball 1. They list Billy Petrick at 6'6", 240. He's 21 years old, from Morris, Illinois, and he was a Cub third-round draft pick in 2002. Matt Brown skies one high and down the right field line. Giving chase is the right fielder, Tony McQuaid, along with the big first baseman, Drew Larson, but it's into the aluminum back reserved seats way down the right field line. Oldsmobile Park, built in 1996. The Lugnuts, originally an affiliate of the Kansas City Royals, and there are rumblings that this will be the Cubs' last year here. It'll be interesting to see how things shake out in the Midwest League as far as affiliations go after the season. A breaking pitch stays inside, and Matt Brown's ahead 2-1. Brown has seen his average on the rise. He was 2 for 4 in the Kernel win yesterday. He scored in the Kernel 2-run 7th to make it 5-0. That was the final. Brownie hitting .237, backs away from a pitch inside. It's 3-1. Matt leads the club with 22 home runs. That's the third highest in the league. The only 2 ahead of Matt Brown are on this Lansing club. DH Brian Doperik and Kevin Collins, who's not in the lineup tonight. Matt Brown pounds a pitch in on his 5th foul into the Kernel third base dugout, and the count's now full to Brownie. Matt is 4th in the league with 77 runs driven in. He'll be followed by Warner Madrigal and Brandon Wood here in the Kernel second inning. 1-0 Kernels. The 3-2 is lined over the first baseman's head into right. Over to get it near the line is Tony McQuaid, and he gets it back in to hold Matt Brown to a leadoff single. Oh, Matt Brown has been working tirelessly on taking the ball the other way, and that's exactly what he did on a payoff pitch from the tall Lansing right-hander Billy Petrick. And for the second straight inning, the Kernels have their leadoff man aboard. Warner Madrigal, 1 for 4 yesterday, doubled over the head of left fielder Kevin Collins leading off the 7th and scored from third on a wild pitch to make it 4-0 Kernels. Madrigal flailing away, cues one off the end of the stick to the backstop, strike 1. The Lugnut defense tonight has Ryan Fitzgerald in left. He's from Iowa. Chris Walker, the speedster who leads the league in steals in center. Tony McQuaid in right. Matt Brown's being held at first by Drew Larson as Madrigal takes inside for ball 1. At third is Alberto Garcia. Up the middle for the Lugnuts, Carlos Rojas at second, and Carlos Rojas at short, and Anthony Granado at second. Granado is cheating up the middle at second. Swing and a miss by Warner on a changeup way high and outside, strike 2. Kernel right fielder is batting .286. 2 home runs, 9 RBIs for Warner Madrigal, who's played in 15 games. He's in the hole, 1-2. And tips one foul into the glove of the catcher, Jake Fox, strike 3 on Warner Madrigal. Warner did not swing at good pitches. He swung at pitches over his head. 1 on, 1 out for Brandon Wood. Brandon, the Kernel All-Star shortstop, enjoyed the day off yesterday. After going 0 for 2 with a walk in the Saturday night series opener here. A throw to first, and Matt Brown is back standing up. The Kernels have been doing an awfully lot of running recently, trying to come out of some offensive doldrums. So perhaps a hit and run will be called here. Brownie not running, and a tap foul behind the plate by Brandon Wood, strike one. The Colonel record in the second half, 27-29. Sixth place in the 8-team Western Division second half standings. Overall, the Colonels this season, 69-56. From the stretch, Billy Petrick almost hit Brandon Wood, missing inside for ball one. The Lugnuts are tied atop the Eastern Division second half standings with West Michigan. Both clubs are 32-24. Battle Creek a half game out at 31-24. A high drive into right. Tony McQuaid drifting back, and he has it. Brandon Wood got pretty good wood on it as he stroked it in the air to right, but Tony McQuaid drifted to his left and gloved it. And now perhaps the Colonels will do some running with Brown at first and two away. Michael Collins at the plate. Collins in 24 games, hitting .210. Michael has a homer and 11 RBIs. Nothing for 4 yesterday. Michael Collins just did turn 20 years old this past July. Right-handed batter, 6'3", 220. Ball one outside. Australia's done well in the Olympics. They will make the next round along with Cuba, Japan, and Canada. Former Colonel Nick Kimpton on that Aussie squad. A hard-hit ball foul into the Colonel left field bullpen by Michael Collins, who taps his bat to make sure he didn't break it. 1-0 Colonels, 1 on, 2 out, top of the second inning. We're back at home for Labor Day weekend. Friday, September 3rd, a 6:30 start. Saturday, the first 500 of you Colonel fans will receive a Colonel logo baseball. A shot into right. Tony McQuaid has to play it on one hop. Matt Brown rounds second, but stops there. Oh, Michael Collins has the fourth Colonel hit of this game. He lashed one hard into right field, and McQuaid rushed in quickly, but had to play it in front of him. And now Howie Kendrick could add to the Colonel 1-0 lead with 2 on and 2 out. Michael Collins looked terrific as he went the other way and ripped one into right, sending Matt Brown to second. Brownie has a huge lead off second base. And a breaking pitch is up and into Howie, ball one. Kendrick, the Colonel leadoff batter, doubled past third and scored to give the Colonels their early 1-0 lead. Saturday, September 4th is the Fox baseball night. KFXB, the Fox, giving away 500 Colonel logo baseballs to the first 500 of you Colonel fans. Saturday, September 4th. The gates open at 5:30. Game starts at 6:30. And Uncle Charlie in for a strike to Kendrick. Howie pumps the next one foul into the first base stands. In fact, over the stands, onto the, is it concave or concave? Well, it's a roof on top of the suites. We're on the suite level, high above home plate, and the ball hit the roof of the suite. Another foul to the on-deck circle by Kendrick to stay alive. Right-hander Billy Petrick has pitched 128 in the third innings, given up 131 hits in 128 in the third, fanned 102 in 128 in the third, walked only 38. Brown at second and Michael Collins at first. And a deep drive into the right field corner for extra bases. Into the right field corner. Foul! The umpire called it foul. The umpire called it foul. And both runners will have to return. I'm surprised Justin Bachman, the first base coach, is not arguing. The plate umpire called that ball foul. It started fair but tailed foul. 2 Colonel runs would have scored. Howie Kendrick drilled one into the right field corner that must have landed foul by less than a foot. He would have had his second triple in as many games, but instead he's still in the hole 1-2. No argument from Justin Bachman, who had the best look at it, coaching at first base. Now a swing and a tip foul. Howie just got a piece of a Billy Petrick curveball. Oh, brother, Howie Kendrick launching one high and deep into the right field corner, and it tailed just like shot off the tee in golf. It tailed, and landed foul at the base of the foul pole. Now Howie drills one into the screen, foul. Count remains 1-2 to Kendrick. Saturday, September 4th, we play at 6:30 at home against the Whitecaps, and it's KFXB Colonel Logo Baseball Night. Gates open at 5:30 on Saturday the 4th. A pitch off the catcher's glove, and both runners move up. It's going to be a pass ball charged to Jake Fox. Jake Fox had that one ricochet off his mitt to the left of home plate, and that allows Matt Brown to advance to third. Michael Collins up to second. It's ball 2 to Howie Kendrick, and now the count even to the Colonel leadoff batter. A base hit now would like to give the Colonels a 3-0 lead. It's 1-0 Colonels. Petrick is working from the windup, the 2-2. Slider low and away, and the count is full now to Howie with Quan Cosby on deck. The first 500 of you Colonel fans to come to the game on Saturday the 4th of September will receive the Colonel Logo baseball. A grounder to third by Kendrick, and he's thrown out by Alberto Garcia. Howie Kendrick, after narrowly missing an extra base hit that would have scored a pair, ran the count full and grounds out sharply to the third baseman to end the Colonel's second inning. No runs, 2 hits for the Colonels, who have 4 in the first 2 innings. A wild pitch. There were no Lansing errors. The Colonels leave a pair and have stranded 3. This is a game of inches. The Colonels, Howie Kendrick came within inches of giving the Colonels a 3-0 lead, but credit Billy Petrick. He hung in there and got Howie to roll out to third with 2 on and 2 out. And after an inning and a half, the Colonels maintain a 1-0 lead in Lansing, and you're enjoying Colonel baseball on the Zone.
Dan Patrick and Ron Dibble.
What is the total now? I don't have the tattoo tote board on Rex Dibble.
I think he's approaching 20. When he's dressed reasonably well, like if he wears a suit, can you see any of the tattoos?
No, but he wears mediums. Would you say that's right, Bill?
Yes, yeah.
Kind of a small and a medium shirt.
Is he changing that with the whole steroid controversy?
Well, there's been random testing in here. He tested positive for ho-hos and ding-dongs. I do know that.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays on ESPN Radio.
When it comes to life insurance, think ahead. Think about planning for your family's future with Farm Bureau Financial Services. Joy Safi in Cedar Rapids can help you determine what coverage is right for you and your family. When so much in life is beyond your control, aren't you glad life insurance isn't? For your family's future, think about life insurance from Joy Safi in Cedar Rapids. Farm Bureau Financial Services, more than you think. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, West Des Moines, Iowa.
The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron motor oils and lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
Nick Touchstone has fired a strike to right-handed hitting Drew Larson, making his first appearance in this series. And the next one is high from Nick. Drew Larson's the cleanup batter for the Lugnuts, a .243 hitter. He's 21 years old, 10 homers, 43 driven in. A good-looking curveball was called ball 2 by the plate umpire Dixon Sturman. He ruled it high. Nick Touchstone and the Kernels have a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second. The lights are on here at Oldsmobile Park as ball 3 sails up and in. Larson, Larsen, a ninth-round Cub pick last year out of Salt Lake Community College. Nick winds in the 3-1. A check swing, and it's popped foul into one of the sweeps to our right. There is no grandstand roof here at Oldsmobile Park. A giant 4 to 5 story high scoreboard. Just to the right of the hitter's eye in center is the most visible landmark in this stadium. A 3-2 pitch looked over, but it was called low for ball 4. A leadoff walk issued by Nick Touchstone. He and the Kernels couldn't believe the call by the plate umpire. Jake Fox is now the hitter with the tying run at first and nobody out. Lansing's Jake Fox 2 for 4 yesterday. He doubled each of his last 2 trips up. Fox, a Michigan Wolverine, a high Cub draft pick last year, taken in the 3rd round. 22 years old. Fox waits as Nick Touchstone throws lightly over to first base. Drew Larson has good speed. He's 7 for 9 in stolen bases. Lansing hitting .261 as a squad. Ball one outside to Jake Fox. They're 4th in the league in hitting. They lead the league in home runs. 133 home runs pounded by this Lugnut outfit in 126 games. Lansing's 5th in the 14-team Midwest League in stolen bases. Another throw to first, and the runner tiptoes back. It's only 3:05 down the lines here, but there are 30-foot high green walls that angle out towards center field quickly to make it 3:30, not far from the left field foul pole, 3:37, not far from the right field foul pole. Well, just take 3:37 minus 3:05, and that means it would be, 32 feet, where the wall becomes 8 feet high, and 30 feet where it becomes 8 feet high in left field. Fox, a looper into right. Howie Kendrick, a great play to his left to throw the batter out. What a terrific play on an inside-out swing. A blooper to the right side, and Howie Kendrick had to go way to his left. The ball had all sorts of backspin on it, was tailing away from Howie on its first hop, and somehow Howie covered half an acre of ground to his left, and then from shallow right field he made an off-balance peg to get the batter, Jake Fox. Howie Kendrick just took a hit away from the Lansing catcher. The man who walked on a 3-2 pitch, Drew Larson, is at second for Anthony Granato. He reached 3 times yesterday in the Kernel 5-0 win. Had a pair of singles. He led off the 3rd inning when he was hit by a pitch. Strike one, in on the outside corner from Nick Touchstone. The Kernel team earned run average is 3.968 in the 14-team Midwest League. Granato's a right-handed batter with a straightaway stance. Anthony pounces one over the third baseman's head to deep short, and a long throw by Brandon Wood retires the batter, Anthony Granato. Holding at second, Drew Larson. What a terrific play by Brandon Wood. Anthony Granato pounded it into the dirt in front of home plate. It jettisoned to the left over the head of Matt Brown. But there was Brandon Wood deep in the hole to backhand it on the 3rd hop. And Brandon had plenty on his throw to get the batter. And now if Nick Touchstone, with 2 out, can get Alberto Garcia, another right-handed hitter, the Kernels would maintain their 1-0 lead. Garcia 0 for 3 here Saturday night in the series opener. Did not play yesterday. And Uncle Charlie looked dynamite from here, but it was ruled a ball by the plate umpire. Alberto Garcia from the Dominican Republic, 21 years old. Played with Mesa last year in the Arizona Rookie League. And in 48 games, he hit .319. Nick's 1-0 pitch is outside for ball 2. To Alberto Garcia. Holds the bat right down on the end, uses a wide ash bat, a slightly open stance, and a wide stance for Garcia. Ground ball, base hit into right. We'll have a play at the plate. Warner Madrigal up with it. The throw home is way late and offline past the catcher, and down to second goes Alberto Garcia. Alberto Garcia ties this game. The leadoff walk by Nick Touchstone comes back to haunt the Kernels. How do you like that? The Kernels have out-hit Lansing 4-1, but the game is tied 1-1. A throwing error by Warner Madrigal as his peg was way up the home plate, way up the third base line side of home, and a one-hopper that Bobby Wilson couldn't even get a glove on went into the Kernel first base dugout and all the way to third. Goodness sakes, Alberto Garcia has wound up not at second but at third on the overthrow by Madrigal. Warren Madrigal with his first error of the year, and well, he made it one that we can remember. He threw it into the dugout. Lansing with a 2-out chance to take the lead. Ball one is high to Carlos Rojas. Oh, brother. A leadoff walk has cost the Kernels the lead here in this inning. Now a looper into right. Lansing takes the lead. A base hit by Carlos Rojas. The error by Warner Madrigal cost the Kernels the lead here in the second inning. It's 2-1 Lansing. Carlos Rojas breaking out of an 0 for 16 slump. Just looped it into right field. Hit it very softly. And the two-base throwing error by Warner Madrigal has cost the Kernels the lead here in the second inning. Carlos Rojas with the second straight hit. He followed the lead of Alberto Garcia. Garcia slashed it into right. Rojas dumped it into right. And the Kernel lead is gone. It's 2-1 Lansing. Swing and a miss by Ryan Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is a right-handed batter from Creighton. Lives in West Des Moines. Went to Indian Hills Community College down in Centerville. Let up is outside. Well, that doggone 3-2 pitch to the leadoff batter, Drew Larson, looked like strike three, but Dixon Sturman called it a ball, and that leadoff walk coupled with the throwing error by right fielder Warner Madrigal has led to 2 Lansing runs here in this inning. They lead it 2-1. Fastball high, and it's 2-1 to Fitzgerald. Ryan wears his white home pants just below his knee top, exposing all of his black socks. He uses a black lacquer bat, does .267 hitting Ryan Fitzgerald. He corks one into left. That's a base hit. And the lead runner stops at second. Well, 3 straight singles, and that may bring Eric Bennett out of the Kernel third base dugout. The lower third of the Lansing order has caused Nick Touchstone all sorts of heartache here in the second inning. 3 straight singles by Garcia, Rojas, and Fitzgerald. Ryan cranked one between Brown and Wood at short, and Eric Bennett not out of the Kernel dugout. Here's Chris Walker with a chance to add to the Lugnut 2-1 lead here in this second inning. It's very, very overcast here at Oldsmobile Park. A light breeze blowing from the right field foul pole towards left center field. The grass slope seating berms only have a handful of people on them this evening. Ball one high to Chris Walker. Now a bouncer to Matt Brown. He'll feed Kendrick at second for the inning-ending force of Ryan Fitzgerald. It went 5-4. And Nick Touchstone, burned by a leadoff walk and an error, has surrendered the lead. Lansing scores 2 in the second on 3 hits. A walk, 1 Kernel error, and the Lugnuts leave a pair. And after 2, it's now Lansing 2, the Kernels 1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Quiznos Kernels Kids Club members. Did you know that your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card is good for more than just great deals at the ballpark? That's right. By showing your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card at any of the Cedar Rapids Quiznos, you'll receive a free small drink when you buy a Quiznos sub. That's a free small drink with the purchase of a Quiznos sub when you show your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club card.
Quiznos. Toasty. Airport National 27-hole public golf course invites you to join our golf family all year with these great specials. 2-for-1 green fees with cart, 2-for-1 range ball, 2-for-1 mini golf. Listen to this unbelievable new special. Only $25 per person for unlimited golf with cart all day long on weekdays. And only $27 per person for unlimited golf, including cart on weekends. Play unlimited twilight golf till dark with free riding cart for only $16 per person. Enjoy fast, friendly, and fun family golf at Cedar Rapids Airport National.
The Crown Plaza 5 Seasons is Cedar Rapids' exclusive downtown hotel. Make plans to experience a spectacular view from the top of the 5 restaurant. Start your day off with us for breakfast, or make a lasting impression on your business associates by treating them to our signature lunch buffet that changes daily. For any occasion, enjoy an elegant dinner or the Eddie Picard Jazz Trio in the city's only rooftop restaurant. The Crown Plaza 5 Seasons, top of the 5.
Quan Cosby struck out looking on 3 pitches in the first inning. Both runs in the Lansing second inning were earned runs, and the Lugnuts lead it 2-1. Quan followed by Lopez and Wilson here in the top of the third inning on an overcast night. 69 degrees our game time temperature. Quan bunts foul into the backstop, strike one. Lugnuts own the lowest earned run average in the league, 3.26. The best team ERA in the league. At third base, Alberto Garcia playing 15 feet off the line, and he's in on the grass for Quan Cosby. Swing and a miss, strike two. Sunday, September 5th, Myron Noodleman will be entertaining at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. He's a Jerry Lewis look-alike. Fastball inside. Quan took it for ball one. Cosby tied for the league lead with 12 triples. Quan has 3 homers, 30 runs driven in. Billy Petrick's ahead of the Colonel switch hitter 1 and 2, and Quan pushes this one foul off to the left. Onto the roof of the suites to our left. Myron Noodleman wears a bow tie, slicks his hair back, has buck teeth, wears high water pants like he's ready for a flood, white socks to go along with his trousers. Quan Cosby drills one into right for a leadoff single. Quan had a terrific at bat. Down in the count 1 and 2, he lined it in front of the right fielder for the 5th Colonel hit. Tony McQuaid retrieves it, and just like that, after falling behind by a run in the bottom of the second, the Colonels get the tying run aboard. Quan Cosby ripping one into right. 5 hits for the Colonels already. We've out-hit Lansing 5-3. The red-hot Baltazar Lopez is at the plate, and a big hole through the right side of the Lansing infield. Lopez tries to take advantage of it as he bounces one into the first base Lugnut dugout. Foul, strike one. 2-1 Lugnuts. Lansing has a record here at home in the second half of 15-16. 37-29 at home this season are the Lugnuts. There goes Cosby, and a pitch fouled away to the left. It's 0-2 to Lopez. Quan was running. Baltazar in the hole, 0-2. Lopez singled to help the Colonels take the lead in the first inning. Our overall record 69-56. The Lugnut overall record 70-56. You talk about 2 evenly matched squads, and we've split 6 games this season. The 0-2 to Lopez. He fights it off his fist and skies it foul down the left field line into the aluminum back seats that are empty. There are 20 rows of green box seats here at Oldsmobile Park, and behind them 10 rows of aluminum backed reserve seats. And then beyond the dugouts, the green seats extend. A throw to first. Cosby dives back in hand first. But beyond those green seats that are even beyond the dugout tops are another couple of sections of aluminum-backed reserve seats. It's 404 feet to dead center field. Cosby running, a pitch out, the throw to second, and Quan, they called him out. They called him out on a close play. The second baseman puts a tag on Quan Cosby for the first out of the inning. That's all right. I think he was safe. Bobby Magallanes did too. But the throw by Jake Fox on a pitch out got Quan Cosby trying to steal second. Ball one outside to Baltazar. That was a close play. Now Baltazar Lopez wraps one through the right side into right for yet another Colonel hit. Another Colonel hit. We're trailing this game 2-1. The first 2 Colonels have singled to open up the third inning. That one had a seeing eye single just to the right of Drew Larson, the first baseman. And in shallow right field, Anthony Granado tried to chase it down. He couldn't stop it. It was Tony McQuaid who finally had to spring in from right field, and now Lopez may be running. Fouled away. First pitch swinging. Bobby Wilson shoots it foul over the backstop. Man, if we hit the ball well tonight, yet we trail the game 2-1. A doggone leadoff walk and a throwing error cost the Colonels the lead in the second inning. Bobby Wilson with a sacrifice fly in the first. lays off one low and away for a ball. Ooh, it was a close play at second, and the base umpire, Bobby Price, called Quan out. Looked like he got his foot in ahead of the throw and the tag. A high pop-up to the middle of the diamond, the pitcher pointing in the air. The third baseman comes down the line and in fair ground. About a third of the way up the line, Alberto Garcia has it 2 away in the Colonel third inning as Bobby Wilson pops to shallow third. That brings up Blake Balcom, who flew out to right to end the Colonel first inning. My goodness, we've hit the ball well here tonight. But trail the game 2-1, even though we've out-hit Lansing 6-3. It's only the top of the third inning. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch by Blake. Sunday, September 5th, Myron Noodleman. Monday, Labor Day, September 6th, Fan Appreciation Day. Sunday's game starts at 2 o'clock, so does Monday's. Labor Day, Monday, September 6th. A fastball from the tall right-hander, Billy Petrick, is taken away, ball 1 to Blake Balcom. Blake is hitting .266, 4 home runs, 47 runs driven in. And a line drive right at the first baseman to end the inning. Kernels hitting the ball well tonight. Blake Balcom hit it on a rope right at Drew Larson to end the inning. No runs for the Kernels in the third inning, 2 hits. There were no Lansing errors. The Kernels leave their fourth stranded. Get this. The Kernels have 2 hits in the first, 2 hits in the second, 2 hits in the third, yet after 2.5 innings are down to the Lugnuts 2-1. And this is Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services 1,000-minute Reader Recognition Day is Sunday, September 5th at 1 o'clock at Veterans Memorial Stadium. All you girls and boys who ran 1,000 minutes this summer will be greeted on the field by the Kernels at 1 o'clock on September 5th to get autographs. You'll then be honored with a parade around the diamond. Order your tickets for Toyota Financial Services Reader Recognition Day by calling the Kernels at 896-7560. That's 896-7560.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I won't argue that Phil Jackson of the Lakers is a good coach. On record alone, he's worthy of acknowledgement among the coaching elite. Let me ask you, how much is Phil Jackson and how much is MJ and Pip and Shaq and the Coaster? You know, Pat Riley, you may recall, was a genius too when he coached Magic. Apparently, Pat Riley with Eddie Jones lost about 94 points on his IQ. I would maintain there's a fine line between eccentric genius and bizarre weirdo. My point, Phil Jackson can coach. I'm not disputing that. Let's save the guru Svengali genius label for science and math nerds. It's the NBA. Players win games. Phil Jackson has had the best players. He's not reinventing the wheel, okay? You take away Shaq and replace him with Dwayne Shinsias, and Jackson's battling the Warriors for last in the West. Let's not kid ourselves.
Don't be left out of the herd. Only on ESPN Radio.
Tony McQuaid, who struck out in the first inning, bats second in the Lugnut order, and a terrific breaking pitch is a strike at the knees to the switch hitter, McQuaid, a .287 batter, 5 homers, 40 RBIs. Nick Touchstone into his windup. The next delivery is low and in. It's 2-1 Lansing in the bottom of the third. Just past 7 o'clock in eastern Iowa. It's just a little after 8 here in the state capital, Lansing, Michigan. A fastball is down and in from the Colonel lefty, and he falls behind 2-1. Nick does not bring his hands above his head. He brings them below his belt, then up to his chin, and the next pitch is socked into center. Quan Cosby, 3 quick steps back to glove it. Tony McQuaid got good wood on it, hit it right on the nose, but right to center fielder Quan Cosby, 1 out in the Lansing third inning for the league's leading home run hitter, Brian DePerick. He grounded out the third to end the Lugnut first inning. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600, The Zone, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Our in-studio engineer is Jake. Ball 1 inside to DePerick. State Farm Insurance agents Lanny Peterson, Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, and Dale Thompson are glad to bring us our first look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. DePerick takes inside ball 2. Bryan, a .298 hitter, 36 home runs to lead the league, 102 runs driven in. In the American League at Sky Dome, Toronto leads the Blue Jays in the third inning, top of the third, 2-0. It's the Yankees 3, the Tribe nothing in the bottom of the second. Ball 3 high to Petrick. Let's see if they turn him loose. They did, and he hits one into left field. Coming on is Blake Balcom, and Blake has it. Brian Petrick was turned loose on 3-0, and he got on top of one and hit a sinking liner down the line and left. The Blake Balcom scurried in to catch, 2 away. Great job by Nick Touchstone here in the third inning. The Tigers are on top of the fading White Sox 2-0 in the bottom of the third inning. Later tonight in the American League, the Twins and Rangers, Seattle and Tampa Bay. The Royals take on our parent club, the 2002 World Champion Angels in Anaheim, and Baltimore visits the Athletics. Ball 1 low and away to Drew Larson, who walked and scored in the Lugnuts 2-run second inning. It is 2-1 Lansing. We're in the bottom of the third. A bouncer to second. Howie Kendrick down to get it and on to first in a 1-2-3 inning for lefty Nick Touchstone. The Kernels have out hit the Lugnuts 6-3, but after 3 are down by a run 2-1, and you're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Hey, everybody, so get on down to Hometown Restyling. Hometown Restyling. For all your remodeling needs, satisfaction guaranteed. Hometown Restyling specializes in all of your home's interior, exterior needs. Visit our showrooms, one in Hiawatha, one in Coralville, and see the incredible possibilities. Windows, siding, sunrooms. Give us a call at 378-1221.
There's a dream that lies in your heart to tell you you're one of a kind. This is your time, just be you. Rise up, be strong. Originality lasts a whole lot long. Nothing better. Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality. Dr. Pepper, salute individuality. Dr. Pepper, do what you do, your moment has come. You're not like anyone, nothing better. Dr. Pepper, do what you do, your moment has come. You're not like anyone, nothing better. Dr. Pepper.
Quickly, 3 innings are gone at Oldsmobile Park, and the Kernels will have Matt Brown, Warner Madrigal, and Brandon Wood to face 6'6" right-hander Billy Petrick. 2-1 Lugnuts. Our first home playoff game is Thursday, September 9th. Thursday, September 9th, the ticket prices are the same as they are during the regular season, ranging from $4 to $8. And to be a part of the fun and excitement of either the last regular season homestand over Labor Day weekend or that playoff game on Thursday the 9th, call the Kernels at 896-7560, 896-7560, or log on to our website at www.kernels.com. Billy Petrick misses inside, and his next pitch is not a pitch, as Matt Brown was granted time by the plate umpire. Let's continue now in the National League on our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Top of the third at Olympic Stadium, the Expos are shelling the Dodgers 5-0. Look out, Matt Brown is hit in the rump, and the Kernels have their leadoff batter on for, get this, the 4th time in a row. Matt Brown drilled on a 1-0 pitch, and that hit batsman the 10th of the season in 22 starts by Billy Petrick. For the 3rd straight inning, the Kernels have their leadoff man on. It's Pittsburgh and the Diamondbacks at PNC Park in the top of the third, tied at 3. And in the bottom of the third at Shea Stadium, the Padres lead the Mets 2-0. And now Matt Brown's being looked over by Brian Renker. I thought it hit him in the rear end, but it must have hit him in the left arm. They're looking at Brownie's left elbow or bicep. Looks like it got him in the left elbow. Bobby Magallanes is looking at it. So's Brian Renker. Justin Bachman is standing at first. Boy, I thought that pitch got Brownie in the rear end. It got him in the left arm. Brian Renker, the Colonel trainer, is looking over Matt Brown. He's standing near first base. And you can bet if Brownie can, he'll stay in this game. Later tonight in the National League, the Brewers tangle with the Cubs at Wrigley, and it's the Phillies in Houston at Minute Maid Park. Well, it looks like Matt Brown, Bobby Magallanes is running back over to coach third base. It looks like Matt Brown will remain in this game. Brian Renker came out and looked at Brownie. Brian is wearing white long pants with an Anaheim Angel long sleeve windbreaker on, and Brian Renker, who's had to come on the field, thankfully, very few times this season, is back in the Colonel third base dugout. Warner Madrigal at the plate. Colonel right fielder with a wide stance. Stands straight up. And a breaking pitch chases him off the dish, ball one. The Colonels have had their leadoff man aboard in each of the first 4 innings tonight. Trail by a run, 2-1. Top of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss by Warner. Strike one on a changeup. Madrigal steps out of the dirt batting circle. Now he's back in there. Matt Brown being held at first by Drew Larson. Matt has 5 steals. A bouncer over the first baseman's head into right. Matt Brown is going to race to third, and he'll make it to third. A base hit that catapulted over the head of Drew Larson's head off the bat of Warner Madrigal, and the Colonels have runners at first and third with nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning, and that is the Colonel's 7th hit of this game. Warner Madrigal chopped one over the head of the first baseman into right, and Matt Brown scooted all the way to third. It's first and third for Brandon Wood. Nobody out. Brandon flew to right his first time up. Boy, we'd love to see him do at least that again, because if he were to fly to right as deep as he did in the 2nd inning, the Colonels would tie this game. Strike one called. A pitch at the knees on the outside corner. It looked like a slider from Billy Petrick. We have a Colonel Road Show Trivia Challenge question winner to congratulate from last night. Ball one, low and away. We'll have a chance for you to earn a Jared Washburn bobblehead doll in the top of the 5th inning from Oldsmobile Park. But yesterday, we had a winner, Al Bergener from Iowa City. We'll repeat the question and give the answer Al did. A bouncer foul outside third, and Brandon's in the hole 1-2. Yesterday, we told you that the only 2 catchers to win batting titles were both Cincinnati Reds, and that one did it in 1926, the other in 1938. We asked you who they were. Al Bergener, Burgener, from Iowa City, earned himself a Jared Washburn bobblehead doll by correctly answering that question. Oh, Brandon Wood got a breaking pitch in his wheelhouse and stroked it straight into the net. It remains 1-2 to Brandon. Al Bergener cited Bubbles Hargrave as the Cincinnati Red catcher who won the 1926 NL batting title. There goes Madrigal, and a pitch hit to third. Brown will try to score, and he's out at the plate. I'll be darned. Yet another Colonel thrown out at the plate on a ground ball to third. Matt Brown cut down by Alberto Garcia. That's the 3rd Colonel runner we've lost at the plate in the last 4 games on a ground ball to third. Warner Madrigal was running. He went to second. Brandon Wood reaches on a fielder's choice. Had Woody hit it any other place but third, this game would be tied. Wow! We have had 3 base runners thrown out at the plate in the last 4 games on ground balls to third. Our runners break for home, and not once, not twice, but 3 times now in the last 4 games, they have been thrown out trying to score from third on bouncers. Now it's all up to Michael Collins. We had runners at first and third with nobody out and could not score. Now it's first and second. A high drive into left. Coming on is the left fielder to make the catch for the 2nd out. Michael Collins slides to left. Wow. The Colonel squandering chance after chance after chance here tonight. It's still 2-1 Lansing in the 4th inning, and Howie Kendrick's the batter. Oh, brother. How can you have runners at first and third, nobody out, with Brandon Wood at the plate and not score a run? Well, I'll tell you how. You ground one to third, and the runner trying to score from third is thrown out at the plate by 5 feet. Howie doubled and scored in the first. Ball won a slider low and away, and with runners at second and third and 2 out in the second, Howie grounded to third. Madrigal at second, Wood at first. Oh, my goodness, the Kernels about hit the opposition 7-3, but trail 2-1. Billy Petrick is set. The delivery is grounded sharply foul past third, strike one to Howie. Ernie Lombardi was the second Cincinnati Red catcher to win a batting title. He did it in 1938. Lombardi hit .342 in 1938 for the Reds. Bubbles Hargrave hit .353 in 1926 for the Reds. The only two catchers to win batting titles were both Cincinnati Reds. And Al Bergener of Iowa City emailed us with the answers. A shot foul into the stands above the first base Lansing dugout, 1-2 to Kendrick. Oh, to have runners at first and third and nobody out and not be able to score. That's disheartening. A ground ball in the hole. That's a base hit. Warner Madrigal's going to try to score. The throw by the left fielder is in time, out at the plate. In time, out at the plate. Ryan Fitzgerald cuts down Warner Madrigal. It went left fielder to catcher. Madrigal tried to avoid the tag that was a little bit up the line at third, but Jake Fox leaned and tagged Warner out to end the inning. Can you believe it? Can you believe that in 4 innings the Kernels have 8 hits but only 1 run? Can you believe in 4 innings the Kernels have 8 hits and 1 run? In the 4th inning, no runs. 2 more hits. A man cut down at the plate. A second man thrown out at the plate. There were no Lugnut errors. The Kernels leave 2 men on and have stranded 6. 8 hits in the first 4 innings and only 1 run for the Kernels. Lansing comes to bat in the home half of the 4th. Lugnuts still lead it 2-1. And you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Is Tim Kirkchin a metrosexual? Have you ever waxed your body hair?
Absolutely not.
Do you moisturize daily?
No.
Does a gay man ever hit on you?
Yes.
Do you like it? Tim Kirkchin's grade. Golick was an 8. I was a 29. Your score is a 10, which means you are a possible future metrosexual.
Closer to Golick.
Can I tell you what you were 1 point away from in the 0 through 9 point range? The first line would have been stud. You're a manly man.
Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio. Saturday morning. It's over easy as Scott Unash dishes up the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner here on the Zone. It's a hearty helping of local sports coverage from the Metro and beyond. All the latest prep news, the way only Scott can serve it up, cooked up live from this week's featured Cedar Rapids Marion Hy-Vee Kitchen. Get your Saturday breakfast special by tuning in to the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner, live from the Hy-Vee Kitchen at 3235 Oakland Road Northeast. Only here on The Zone.
I'm Sir Reginald Blunderbuss, world-famous playboy and party specialist.
Sir Reginald.
Not now. I'm looking for live music and a great place to meet friends for a drink and a hearty meal.
Sir Reginald.
What?
Get out of the bush and head to Chappie Safari Lounge for daily drink specials and a big menu of great food. I found a complete list of specials at ChappieSafari.com. Euchre, karaoke, and live entertainment.
Hi, George. I think I'll see you at Chappie.
Chappie Safari Lounge, nowhere near the bush on the corner of J Street and 16th Avenue Southwest.
First pitch from Nick Touchstone in the bottom of the 4th sails over the batting helmet of Jake Fox for ball 1. Fox grounded out to second in the 2nd inning. He was robbed of a base hit by Howie Kendrick, who had to move far to his left to take a pitch hit off the end of the bat that was spinning away from Kendrick. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Lugnuts threw 2 Kernel runners out at the plate in the top of this 4th inning, and despite being out hit 8-3, Lansing leads it 2-1. Fox on a 1-0 delivery. Fouls it straight back. Strike 1. We'll have a chance for you to earn a Jared Washburn bobblehead doll. in the top of the 5th inning in our Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge. Fox on a curve takes it high for ball 2. Tomorrow evening, dugout interview time 5:40. 5:40 dugout interview time tomorrow. What a curveball. And they call it a ball. Ball 3. That was a terrific pitch by Nick Touchstone. Should be 2-2 the count. There's strike 2 on the outside corner, a fastball. Sometimes Nick's curveball's so good, I think the plate umpire's fooled by it. The payoff pitch to Fox. Upstairs, a curve, ball 4. When Nick lost the batter on a walk to open up the second, it led to a 2-run Lansing inning. He walks the leadoff batter here in the 4th inning. That's been Nick's only weakness this season, is his wildness. Touchstone in 101 2/3 innings has only allowed 85 hits. He struck out 88 batters in 101 2/3, but he's walked 56. Nick has hit 16 batters. The league batting .229 against him. The runner at first not going, and Anthony Granado trying to bunt, fouled one off his foot, strike 1. Anthony Granado grounded out to deep short in the 2nd inning. So far, a very, very frustrating night for the Kernels. Only down by a run, but had 2 men thrown out at the plate in the top of this inning. Matt Brown playing even with the bag at third, about 10 feet off the line, and next pitch is over but low. 1-1 to the right-handed batter, Anthony Granado. To have runners at first and third and nobody out and not score is unfathomable. But the Kernels managed to do that in the top of this inning. Fastball looked good, but the plate umpire called it high for ball 2. Kernels in their all navy blue caps. Red knit tops, gray pants. Let's see if the hit and run is on. A throw over to first and a modest lead by the catcher, Jake Fox. He gets back standing up. The batter's eye here, an 8-foot high green padded wall, and above that, a 15-foot high black net. A ground ball up the middle, a base hit. The runner Fox will go to second and hold there. Nick Touchstone flashed at it, had a chance to turn a double play, but it got by him. And the Lugnuts now, with all the momentum in the game, have runners at first and second with nobody out. Nick got his glove up, may have even got a piece of it. And then it was hit so hard that Howie Kendrick behind second could not get to it. Into center it went. And now Alberto Garcia will likely be bunting here with 2 on and nobody out. Kernels had 2 on and nobody out in the top of this 4th inning. Couldn't make anything of it. Let's see if we can throw a wrench in the Lugnut opportunity just like they did ours. The batter is squaring to bunt. And Nick Touchstone turns and looks the lead runner, Jake Fox, back to second. And now Baltazar Lopez comes in from first to have a word with Nick Touchstone about how the Kernels may defense this possible impending bunt by Alberto Garcia. Garcia singled and scored in the Lugnut 2-run 2nd inning. Alberto made it clear on the sequence a moment ago that he was going to bunt. He squares to bunt. Lays it down. Touchstone looks at third, throws to first for the out. Well, you could tell that Alberto Garcia was going to be successful. He squared to bunt, and he bunted it in front of home plate. Nick Touchstone had a play at third, but he decided to take the sure out, and he whirled and threw to the second baseman, Howie Kendrick, for the 1-4 put out. And a walk and a single. Lansing has runners at second and third with 1 out. I doubt if they'll score. And the reason I say that, the Kernels couldn't score with runners at first and third with nobody out. So why should Lansing be able to score with runners at second and third and 1 out? I doubt if they'll score in this situation. A strike at the knees to Carlos Rojas. Maybe Rojas will hit it to third, and the runner will break for the plate, and Matt Brown will throw out Jake Fox. That seems to be what the Kernels have fallen into the trap of doing. Strike 2 is stroked foul off to the right, and it's 0-2 to Carlos Rojas, who jumped a single into right in that Lugnut 2-run second inning. 2-1 Lansing, bottom of the fourth inning. Hope everything started off well for all you great kids that are headed back to school. Fastball just missed high as the right-handed hitter batting .212, no homers, 28 RBIs. Carlos Rojas is still in the hole, 1-2. Jake Fox at third. He walked to start the inning. Anthony Granado at second. They were at first and second moments ago when Alberto Garcia bunted them over into scoring position. A change up in the dirt, and Bobby Wilson saves a run as the ball squirts 10 feet to the right of the plate. Ball 2 to the batter. During our Toyota Financial Services summer reading program visits this past spring, we went to schools in the College Community District, Marion, Linn-Mar, Cedar Rapids, the Catholic schools, the private religious schools, and we'll be celebrating with all the 1,000-minute readers on Sunday, September 5th, a pregame autograph session with the Kernels. An 2-2 pitch rather is pounded foul off the batter's foot. Nick Touchstone takes a look into the Kernel left field bullpen where he sees our dugout interview guest Ronnie Ray warming up. Ronnie Ray is warming up in the Kernel left field bullpen. Ronnie told us on the dugout interview he actually prefers the bullpen to being a starter. Rojas even on the count with 2 on. Bounces it to first. It's a foul ball. Foul ball fielded by Baltazar Lopez. Ronnie Ray, who has started a game for the Kernels and relieved in another, is heating it up in the left field bullpen. Our pregame festivities for the Toyota Financial Services Kernel 1,000-minute summer readers get underway at 1 o'clock on Sunday, the 5th of September. Another 2-2 from the Kernel lefty. Spanked into right, a base hit. 1 run is in. Another man is being held at third as Madrigal misses the cutoff man, but fires to the plate. 3-1 Lansing. The Lugnuts were able to do something the Kernels couldn't do in the last half inning, and that is hit the ball well enough to score a runner from third with less than 2 outs. Carlos Rojas, a .212 hitter, is 2 for 2. And the 2 men that have walked in this game for Lansing, guess what? They both scored. Our ball club tends not to draw walks, so it's hard for us to take advantage of leadoff walks. Frustrating night of baseball. 3-1 Lugnuts, bottom of the fourth inning, and Eric Bennett out to the mound to talk it over with Nick Touchstone. First and third, only 1 out. The number 9 hitter, Ryan Fitzgerald, may try to squeeze a run home. When you get 8 hits in the first 4 innings and only score a run, that's not a good omen. That's telling you have a slim chance for success in that game. But with all that said, we're only down by 2 runs, and there is 1 out, and the Lugnuts have runners at the corners for their number 9 hitter, Ryan Fitzgerald, who singled in the first inning. Fitzgerald stands well off the plate. He's a right-handed batter. Throw to first low, and Baltazar Lopez had to go down and backhand that one to prevent a wild throw. It looks like this will be Nick Touchstone's final inning of work. The big lefty is set at the belt, throws to first, again in the dirt, and again a good save by Baltazar Lopez. The runner at first, Carlos Rojas, has 2 hits from the number 8 hole in the Lansing order. And he has 6 steals. He's been caught twice. Strike 1 on the outside corner. The deepest part of this ballpark is just to the right of the tall scoreboard, to the right of the batter's eye in center. It's 412 feet to deep, deep right center field. Ball 1 outside. In the left center field power alley, it's 380. 370 to the right center field power alley. And 404 to dead center. Only 305 down the lines, but a 30-foot high wall. A late swing and a miss by the number 9 hitter, strike 2. Lansing leads it despite being out hit 8-5. The Lugnuts on top 3-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A curve, a slow roller to second. Kendrick to second, out. No other throw. 4-1 Lugnuts. 4-1 Lansing. Breaking his bat with Ryan Fitzgerald, but what did he do? He got a runner home from third with less than 2 out, something the Kernels have failed to do miserably in the second half. Carlos Rojas is out. Kendrick to Wood, 4-6. And it's 4-1 Lugnuts. Their leadoff batter bats with a runner at first. The runner at first is Ryan Fitzgerald. He's credited with his 23rd RBI of the year. Still plenty of time if the Kernels can stop the Lugnuts from adding to their lead here in the 4th inning. A bouncer high in the air to third. Matt Brown was playing shallow, and he fires to Lopez to get the speedster, Chris Walker, who's nothing for 3. Chris Walker bounces out to third, and the Lugnuts capitalize for the second time tonight on a leadoff walk. That leads them to 2 runs. On 2 hits, the key besides the leadoff walk, a sacrifice bunt, a terrific sacrifice bunt. Lansing leaves a runner, and they've stranded 3. The Kernels come to bat in the top of the 5th inning. Your chance to earn a Jared Washburn bobblehead doll is coming up. Log on now to www.kernels.com. After 4, it's Lansing 4, the Kernels 1, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Okay, so I'm dropping my daughter off at daycare, and as I'm walking out, I see myself in the double door.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. My hair looks terrible. My ends are all scraggly, and my roots. Did you see my roots? I can't believe I've been walking around like this.
Have you tried cost cutters?
Oh, I'd love to get my hair done, but who has the time? With work and the kids, I barely have time to find matching socks, let alone time for my hair. Besides, I need the work.
Just go to Cost Cutters. They'll have you in and out and looking great in no time.
Yeah?
Yeah. At Cost Cutters, the stylist will keep you looking great with a new cut, some color, even highlights. Check out mine.
Oh, so Cost Cutters is your secret.
Yep. I even get my favorite products there. You know, shampoo, conditioner.
That's it. I'm going to Cost Cutters. Right now. My roots. Thank you.
There are a dozen Cost Cutters here in our area, each offering a relaxed, convenient hair care experience with no appointments and no hassles. Cost Cutters make things easy and affordable with professional stylists who care about you. Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Dun, 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 dun,
Da da
dun.
da da da! Hey, call the A-Team! Hey, Matt, thanks for having us over for the game, but, you know, we could have had it at my house. My TV is bigger, and my AC works.
I thought you were supposed to get that fixed while your wife was out of town this week.
Oh, man, I totally forgot, and she's coming home tomorrow.
She's going to kill you.
What am I going to do?
You need to call the A-Team.
The A-Team?
Yeah, Ahern Plumbing and Heating. They can get your service in 24 hours, guaranteed.
I better call Ahern Plumbing and Heating right away.
Kernels look to put their leadoff batter aboard for the 5th straight inning as Quan Cosby's ahead 1-0. Billy Petrick fired high and away. Quan singled leading off the 3rd into right field, but then was thrown out trying to steal second on a close play. A changeup, and Quan swung and missed, strike 1. Your chance to earn yourself a Jared Washburn bobblehead doll here in the top of the 5th inning as our Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge comes your way. Log on to our website, www.kernels, Kernels.com, and then click on the link on the right side of the homepage to Email us your name, address, phone number, and the date, August 23rd. Ball 3 is outside to Cosby, and Quan is ahead 3-1. The Kernels have yet to draw a base on balls this evening, but have had their leadoff man on 4 times in a row. 4-1 Lansing, top of the 5th inning. Quan bounces one to short. On a big hop, Carlos Rojas throws him out. Would have liked to see Quan take that 3-1 pitch, but he hammered it hard to short. And for the first time tonight, the right-hander Billy Petrick is retired, the Kernel leadoff batter. Baltazar Lopez, 13 for his last 26. 2 for 2 tonight. Now at the plate. And as you email us your name, address, phone number, and the date, August 23rd, we'll give you our question, our Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. Ball 1 low to Lopez. Here it is. 5 of the 16 pitchers to hurl no-hitters were lefties. 2 of those 5 southpaws are still pitching. Who are they? 5 of the 16 pitchers to hurl no-hitters were lefties. 2 of those 5 southpaws are active. Who are they? Email us your answer to that Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. A pitch over at the knees, and it's 1-1 to Lopez. A change-up, a swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Baltazar. Ronnie Ray continuing to toss in the Kernel left field bullpen. That likely means we've seen the last of Nick Touchstone. 2 leadoff walks have spelled the difference in this game. A grounder to second, and out is Baltazar Lopez. The momentum changed in this game radically, and it will likely remain with the Lugnuts the rest of the night. The Kernels had runners at first and third, nobody out, trailing 2-1 in the top of the 4th, but didn't score. And it looks like Billy Petrick has been bolstered by that. 2 leadoff walks by Nick Touchstone, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, and he and the Kernels trail by 3 here in the 5th. A ground ball off the pitcher's ankle, and he throws Bobby Wilson out. Yes, the momentum is clearly with the Lugnuts the rest of the way tonight. Bobby Wilson grounds one off the pitcher's ankle. He recovered and threw Bobby out, and the Kernels go down in order for the first time tonight in the top of the 5th inning. As the Lugnuts come to bat in the home half of the 5th, they enjoy a 4-1 lead over the Kernels. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's. Better call Papa.
With a blazing fastball, Iowa's Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Feller earned the name Rapid Robert for his miraculous speech no matter what you called him. The same goes for Banks Heating and Air Conditioning, now known as Comfort Solutions by Banks. Comfort Solutions by Banks brings with it the same quality and dependability you've counted on for years. Comfort Solutions by Banks offers free quotes and high-efficiency, environmentally friendly Lennox equipment. Call Comfort Solutions by Banks today at 854-6945. Lennox, making your home a better place with Comfort Solutions by Banks.
Ronnie Ray has a chance for a win tonight. That's because Nick Touchstone is lifted after giving up 4 runs on 5 hits in 4 innings. Nick struck out a batter, walked a pair. The 2 he walked both scored. So Ronnie Ray has a chance for a win. 4-1 Lansing. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Let's repeat our Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. 5 of the 16 pitchers to hurl no-hitters were lefties. 2 of those 5 southpaws are still active. Name them. Who are they? Log on to our website, www.kernels, KERNELS.com, and then click on the special link on the right side of the home page. You can then email us your name, your address, and phone number, plus the date, August 23rd, and then the answer to our Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. Squirting one foul behind the plate, switch hitter Tony McQuaid. Tony now fouls one over the backstop. Ronnie Ray is ahead of Tony McQuaid, 0-2. McQuaid struck out and flew to center against Nick Touchstone. Tony leading off here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Ronnie with a changeup. It's low and away. And we'll give you that Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question one more time. The 1-2 to McQuaid is low and in. He almost hit him. It almost hit him. 5 of the 16 pitchers to hurl no-hitters were lefties. 5 of the 16 pitchers to hurl no-hitters were lefties. 2 of those 5 southpaws are active. A ground ball foul past first, pulled by Tony McQuaid. Who are the 2 southpaws who have tossed no-hitters that are still pitching? Oh boy, I've got to completely rephrase the question. I am so sorry, Kernel fans, that I have misled you on this Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge. A bouncer to first. Baltazar Lopez reaches high to snare it and steps on the bag for the out. We have dropped the ball, a huge error on my part on our Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge. 5 of the pitchers to hurl perfect games. 5 of the 16 pitchers to hurl perfect games were lefties. 2 of those 5 southpaws are still active. Who are they? I am so sorry. You're probably scratching your head saying, Rogers, way more than 16 pitchers have pitched no-hitters and way more than 5 lefties have hurled no-hitters. The question for the Jared Washburn bobblehead doll, name the 2 of the 5 southpaws who are still active who hurled perfect games. 5 of the 16 pitchers to hurl perfect games were lefties. 2 of those 5 southpaws are still active. Who are they? Ronnie Ray is even on the count to Brian DePerick. He's 0-2. It's been the lower half of the Lansing order that has done all the damage to the Kernels tonight. DePerick fells himself as he grounds a pitch right off his instep, and the big guy, 6'4", 240, is hobbled. Brian DePerick is trying to regain some sense of comfort. He's really in a lot of pain, and I'm surprised the Lugnut trainer hasn't come out to see Brian DePerick. Ronnie Ray got him to foul one right off his left foot. The ironic part is that Brian DePerick wears a black plastic shield on the inner part of his front leg, but he still hurt himself pretty badly fouling one off. Ronnie Ray in relief of Nick Touchstone. Kernels right in this game. All the momentum with Lansing because they have weathered some pretty tough challenges in the first 4 innings. The Kernels had runners all over the base paths, hits flying everywhere, but only able to score 1 run, losing 2 men at the plate. A change-up. It looked like Ronnie had the batter struck out. I think the base umpire who ruled the batter didn't go around DePerick was showing some compassion for the big guy because I think he did go around. Brian DePerick, the league leader in homers with 36, takes low and away, ball 3. Let's start from scratch with our Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question, since I completely botched it by getting no-hitters mixed up with perfect games. And there's a big difference, isn't there? A line drive at third. Matt Brown takes that sizzling line drive for the second out of the inning. Brian DePerick on a 3-2 pitch from Ronnie Ray hit a bullet to the hot corner for the second out of the Lansing 5th inning. Well, let's start from scratch. Thank you for indulging my error, and a big one it was. For your chance to earn a Jared Washburn bobblehead doll, log on to our website, www.kernels.com. There is a link on the right side of the home page. Click on that link for the chance to answer our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge. Click on that link. An 0-1 pitch is pulled to third by Drew Larson, and on to first for Matt Brown. It goes for the third out of the inning. Ronnie Ray mows through the numbers 2, 3, and 4 men in the Lansing order, retiring the Lugnuts in order for the third time in 5 frames. But after 5, Lansing leads it 4-1. Let's give you our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. Email us your name, address, phone number, and the date, August 23rd, and then the answers to this question. 5 of the 16 pitchers to hurl perfect games were lefties. 2 of those 5 southpaws are still pitching. Who are they? That's our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. Name 2 of the 5 southpaws who are still pitching who have hurled perfect games. The Kernels come to bat in the top of the 6th inning with Lansing on top 4-1. And you're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Look around you. Everyone's different. Some of us are tall, many of us are short. If you think about it, there are many important differences among people. That's what makes us all individuals. Insurance needs are individual, too. Talk to your Pekin Insurance Agency, Sheets, Forrest, Draper Insurance in Marion, about the proper insurance coverages for your individual needs. See Scott Draper at Sheets, Forrest, Draper in Marion about insurance for your home, auto, life, health, or business. You can depend on your hometown professionals with Pekin Insurance.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fishing, tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, carpet makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers do walk into Yellow Book. The other book.
When it comes to making their buying decisions, people today let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with money-saving coupons, restaurant menus, and vital community info. And with more ads than ever before, it has everything you need right at your fingertips. It's easy to spot. Just reach for the yellow directory with the map on the cover and join the smart shoppers who choose Yellow Book, not the other book. Put your business in Yellow Book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
Let your fingers do walk into Yellow Book. The other book.
Fast-moving game at Oldsmobile Park. A curveball is low and in to Blake Balcom, who is flown out to right, line to first. Blake hammers one foul, just foul, past third into left for strike 1. Well, the Kernels have out-hit Lansing, but it's the Lugnuts that have been more patient at the plate and out-executed the Kernels, and that's why Lansing's ahead by 3 in the top of the 6th inning. Great to have you with us on this Monday evening. The Kernels have had such a super season on the road. 37-23, our road record. In the second half, 16-9. Taking a pitch low for ball 2 is Blake Balcom. The only inning the Kernels did not put their leadoff batter aboard was the 5th inning, and Quan was ahead 3-1. Blake taps one foul to the backstop, strike 2. No rain. They were really afraid of rain here this evening. In fact, they delayed the game 18 minutes. They thought they might have to put the tarp on. Two-hopper to short. Well hit by Blake, but the shortstop, Carlos Rojas, pegs to first, and that's 4 in a row now for starter Billy Petrick. We let him off the hook. Let him off the hook with some very poor base running. One away for Matt Brown. He has singled and been hit by a pitch. And you can just see Billy Petrick's confidence growing with each at bat. A strike to Matt Brown. You get 8 hits off a guy in the first 4 innings and only score a run, and you're in big trouble. Brownie swings and misses on a curveball, strike 2. We'll be bringing you up to speed in just a little bit on more scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Matt Brown lifts one into shallow left. Coming on is Ryan Fitzgerald to glove it, and that's 5 in a row now retired by Billy Petrick, the right-hander. 2 away in the Kernels' 6th inning for Warner Madrigal. He singled but was thrown out trying to score on a 2-out single by Howie Kendrick that ended the Kernel 4th inning. 4-1 Lugnuts, and they get a right-hander up in their bullpen. And the Lugnut right-hander is Chris Gross. Chris Gross is warming up for the Lugnuts. Let's see if Warner Madrigal can start a 2-out rally here in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss on a curveball. There are still opportunities over Labor Day weekend for your Little League softball, t-ball team to take the field with the Kernels, be introduced, and trot onto the diamond and stand with the Kernels, get their autograph during the playing of the national anthem. Well, not during the playing of the national anthem, but in the dugout before the national anthem. And that's our Cost Cutters Dream Team promotion. Madrigal in the hole. Well, the scoreboard says 2-2. He fouls one to the left, so it's 2-2. You can sign your team up for that opportunity I just described as the Cost Cutters Dream Team by calling Jessica Ferguson of our front office. 896-7612 is Jessica's number. 896-7612. Warner Madrigal on a 3-2 pitch laces it foul deep down the right field line. Warner, a .286 hitter in 15 games. The Cost Cutters Dream Team gets to come into the Kernel dugout before the game, get the autographs of Kernel players on a Cost Cutters Kernel logo soft toss baseball, and then take the field individually to stand with the Kernels for the playing of the national anthem. And to sign your team up as the Cost Cutters Dream Team for one of our final 4 regular season home games, call Jessica Ferguson of the Kernel front office, 896-7612. You don't have to have won your Little League championship or done anything extraordinary on the diamond other than want your kids, your team, to have that opportunity to be the Cost Cutters Dream Team. Warner Madrigal has walked on a 3-2 pitch. Brandon Wood takes low and away for ball 1 here in the top of the 6th inning, with the Lugnuts up by 3, 4-1. Right-hander Billy Petrick's next pitch is a changeup and a swing and a tip foul by Brandon. Strike 1. Brandon Wood, 0 for 2 tonight, batting .267. 11 home runs, 62 runs driven in, and he and Blake Balcom both have 28 doubles to lead the team. A deep drive to center will get over the head of Chris Walker, I think. He's back and has it. He outran the ball. Chris Walker with a spectacular catch in deep, deep left center. Brandon Wood crushed it over the head of Chris Walker. He went back, outran the ball, and caught it 390 feet away up against the white Miller Lite sign in deep, deep, deep left center. And if that isn't an indication that it's the Lansing Lugnuts night, nothing is. Brandon Wood hit a ball as well as he's hit it all year, but it was caught by Chris Walker. No runs in the Kernels' 6th inning, no hits, a walk. There were no Lugnut errors. The Kernels strand their 7th. And after 5.5, the Lugnuts lead it 4-1. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Dubuque Greyhounds Park and Casino. Come on and play.
The thrills are big, the food is great, and the excitement is building. We're expanding our casino to give you more great entertainment. Come watch our progress and make this a play day. Now at Dubuque Greyhound Park and Casino, play Head for the Green. Winners are drawn 6 times a day. All winners receive $50 cash. And if you're present when your name is drawn, you could win a brand new golf cart and golf clubs. There'll be over 125 winners in all and up to $33,000 in total prizes. Make this a play day at Dubuque Greyhound Park and Casino and Head for the Green. Now through August 8th. Sponsored by Harris Motorsports and Tri-State Golf.
Dubuque Greyhound Park and Casino. Dubuque Greyhound Park and Casino. Come on
The Zone salutes the women of Cedar Rapids with the Zone Babes. They're babelicious, baby. And you know, sports isn't all there is to life. The Zone Babes. This parade of pulchritude is as close as your computer. Check out this week's Zone Babe at thezone1600.com, your online home of local sports and other stuff. This stunning photo gallery of local lovelies is beautifully photographed by Clicks Photography Company. The Zone Babes, only at thezone1600.com. The Zone.
Ronnie Ray, who has a chance to win this game, he took over in the fifth inning with the Kernels trailing 4-1. It's still 4-1 Lansing. Jake Fox takes a strike, and now a change-up and a swing and a miss. Jake Fox drew a leadoff walk in the fourth inning and scored. 2 walks and a throwing error are the difference in this game. The 0-2 from Ray to the number 5 hitter is low and away. Bottom of the sixth inning. We are sailing along here in Lansing. Ball 2 is low and outside. It looks like that we've seen the last of the Lugnuts starter, Billy Petrick. The Kernels had mega chances. Here's a line drive ripped right at Matt Brown at third. Ronnie Ray has Matt Brown to thank for the first out of this sixth inning as Matt put the clamps on a ball ripped right at him. 4 straight retired by Ronnie Ray. Billy Petrick allowed the leadoff man to reach in each of the first 4 Kernel at-bats this evening, but he only gave up 1 run in 6 innings. 1 run on 8 hits. Billy Petrick struck out a batter. Check that. He struck out 2. Ronnie Ray's changeup is in on the inside corner for a strike to Anthony Granato. And the starter, Petrick, walked a man and hit a man. Ronnie Ray gets ahead of Anthony Granato, a right-handed hitter, as he chops one foul behind the plate. It looks like Chris Gross, a right-hander, will be pitching in the top of the 7th inning here at Oldsmobile Park. Ooh, a fastball is ruled upstairs for ball 1. A lot of positives to take from tonight's game. A swing and a miss. One of them, Ronnie Ray, coming on in relief and retiring the first 5 Lugnuts he's faced. Another positive, Quan Cosby trying to steal a base. Even though he was caught, at least Quan tried to steal, and that's one of the things the Kernels have been trying to get Quan to do is, hey, if you try to steal a base and they throw you out, so be it. But at least you're trying to steal. So that's been a positive. Another positive, the Kernels have 8 hits. The only thing that hasn't been positive is that we haven't gotten runs across the plate. We've had 2 men thrown out at the plate, both in the 3rd inning, or both in the 4th inning. Strike 1 to this batter, and now this batter, Alberto Garcia, pops one foul towards the Lansing first base dugout. Coming over are Lopez and Bobby Wilson, but it's beyond their reach. Strike 2 to Alberto Garcia. He's played a big role in the Lansing lead tonight of 4-1. He singled and scored in the 2nd, and he laid down a sacrifice bunt that helped the Lugnuts score 2 runs in the 4th inning off Nick Touchstone. You always have to temper your observation about a ball game and look at what the positives are. And the Kernels have, as I've noted, at least 3 positives so far tonight. And we're only in the 6th inning. So another positive could surface. We could rally to still bag this one. Ball 1 outside to the right-handed batter. Now a changeup in the dirt for ball 2. Chris Gross, who's 23 years old, is from the University of New Mexico. He is likely to take over in the Lugnut 7th, or in the Kernel 7th inning. Lansing leads it 4-1. Base is empty. 2 out. The 2-2 from Ronnie. Pounded to first. To his right, Baltazar Lopez gloves and tosses to the pitcher, Ronnie Ray, for the out. Ronnie Ray has retired all 6 batters he's faced here tonight. He gets Alberto Garcia to tomahawk one to Lopez. Baltazar had to move quickly to his right to spear it, and then spun and threw the batter out. Ronnie Ray covering. Down in order go the Lugnuts for the second straight inning, facing Kernel 20-year-old reliever Ronnie Ray. Kernels come to bat in the seventh with the Lugnuts leading 4-1. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Gas prices giving you the blues? Get into Randy Keel Honda and save with great fuel mileage on all Hondas in stock. Still need the SUV, you say? Well, the competitive CR-V will get 24 miles to the gallon. The safest, best family sedan, the Honda Accord, will definitely save the family pocketbook with 34 miles to the gallon. Save even more on gas mileage with the compact Civic, getting you there in 38 miles to the gallon. Or the amazing fuel mileage of the Honda Civic Hybrid, 48 miles to the gallon. And that is in the city. Randy Keel Honda has a huge selection of pre-owned Hondas, too, all with exceptional fuel mileage. Randy Keel Honda, the home of confidence, has many other pre-owned vehicles priced to move as well. Randy Keel Honda boasts the best prices in Iowa on new and pre-owned vehicles. Start the savings now and get into Randy Keel Honda, 4425 Centerpoint Road Northeast, or on the web at randykeel.com.
When it comes to fun in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, nothing compares to the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub. As you bask in the soothing comfort of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub, you'll be taking in the action from a breathtaking perch just above the left field wall. Register for your chance to be drawn as the winner of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub by visiting Westdale Mall.
Right-handed relief pitcher Chris Gross takes over in the seventh inning, and he has a 4-1 lead to try to protect. Michael Collins rips the first pitch into left center, and Chris Walker won't get this one. Michael Collins is on his way to second, and he has the Kernel ninth hit of this game as he steamrolls into second with a blistering double into left center. Michael Collins is 2 for 3. He greets right-hander Chris Gross with a extra base hit that sailed to the right of and over the head of Chris Walker. Walker made a terrific catch to take a run away from the Kernels in the sixth inning as Brandon Wood crushed one over the center fielder's head, but he went back and outran the baseball to catch it. Howie Kendrick is batting for the third time tonight, and he grounds one hard but foul past third. Boy, we've hit a lot of balls hard but foul past third tonight. The starter, Billy Petrick, could win his 12th game of the year, cannot lose his 7th. 6 innings pitched. He gave up 1 run on 8 hits. Struck out 2, walked 1, hit a batter. Howie Kendrick is 2 for 3, has scored the only Kernel run. It came in the first inning. A breaking pitch has Howie's knees buckling, but it's low for a ball. From Chris Gross, spells his first name K-R-I-S, 6'3", 185. Out of the University of New Mexico. He lives in a suburb of Kansas City, Lee's Summit, Missouri. Ball 2 down and into Kendrick. Chris Gross's uncle is Ron Schuler, former general manager of the White Sox. Gross is pitching for the 17th time this year. He's 1-0 with 2 saves. Michael Collins at second. A change-up, strike 2 to Howie. Chris Gross has pitched 29 2/3, given up 27 hits. Fan 20 and 29 2/3, walked only 6, the league hitting .235 against Chris Gross, who has given up a couple of home runs. Howie down on strikes for the first out of the Kernel 7th inning. Kendrick didn't mean to, but he swung at a changeup outside, and he was called out by the base umpire Bobby Price. Here's Quan Cosby. He has one of the Kernel 9 hits tonight. 4-1 Lansing, top of the 7th inning. If we're to have a successful playoff run, we need to have a little more patience at the plate, work deeper into counts. A backdoor curve just missed to Quan, ball 1. Because I really like our pitching as it's shaping up for the playoffs. But if our hitters can be a little more patient without taking all the aggressiveness away, that fine line. Quan Cosby loops one behind third, and it's chased into the Colonel bullpen and drops foul for strike one. Alberto Garcia, the third baseman, with his back to the infield, got closer to it than anyone. And, of course, we're not going to change our base running philosophy, I'll tell you that. We can have a runner at third with nobody out, one out, doesn't matter. And if a ball's hit to the third baseman, we are going to send the runner. How many times he'll be out, I don't know. He's been out 3 times in the last 4 games, but that philosophy will not change. That runner will go. A pitch trickles through the catcher's legs, and on to third goes. It's a pass ball. On to third goes Michael Collins. The second pass ball of this game is charged to the receiver, Jake Fox. Jake Fox was charged with a pass ball in the second inning. And now an RBI chance for Quan. Quan Cosby is trying to cut this Lansing lead to a run. He may have done it. A bouncer to third. The only play is to first, and Quan is out by an eyelash. It's 4-2. Michael Collins scores on a bouncer to third, a high chopper. Looked like Quan might have beaten it out, but the base umpire, Bobby Price, called him out, and Quan Cosby has made it a 2-run game. Quan bouncing out to third, scoring Michael Collins. The pass ball charged to Jake Fox has cost the Lugnuts a run. And Michael Collins with a leadoff double here is scored in the 7th inning. A ground ball up the middle. That's the 10th Colonel hit of the game by Baltazar Lopez. Lopez is 3 for 4. Baltazar Lopez is 3 for 4, and he's 14 for his last 28. Baltazar Lopez is 14 for his last 28. And we're going to have a pitching change. A guy that's virtually impossible to hit, Clay Rapada, a lefty, is going to come in to face Bobby Wilson. Clay Rapada, a lefty, takes over after Chris Gross has allowed 1 run on 2 hits here in the Colonel 7th inning. Gross goes 2/3 of an inning, has surrendered a run on 2 hits. He struck out 1, he walked none, and the reason I say Clay Rapada is virtually impossible to get a breakthrough on is, well, he's one of those lefties that throws so softly that you could catch him if you were the catcher with your bare hands. And that is not a disparaging assessment of Clay Rapada. That type of pitching, and that's what it is, he's a pitcher, not a thrower. That type of pitching is very, very hard to gauge. Very hard to gauge indeed. Clay Rapada, a lefty, coming on for the 2nd time in this series, and he's been brought on to face Bobby Wilson. Bobby put the Colonels ahead with a sacrifice fly in the 1st inning. Since then, Wilson has popped to third and grounded back to the mound. Clay Rapada, a left-hander, on for Lansing. The Colonels have broken through with their first run since the 1st inning, only down by a pair now in the 7th, 4-2. Clay Rapada, 6-5. On for the 52nd time out of the Lugnut bullpen, a 2.18 ERA. In 74 1/3 innings, Rapada has given up 58 hits. He struck out 76 batters in 74 1/3, walked 25. The league hitting .215 against southpaw Clay Rapada. Tying run at the plate, Bobby Wilson. The runner at first, Baltazar Lopez, is batting .500 in his last, I believe, 5 games. A slider is a called strike to Bobby. Strike 1 from the soft-throwing, not a submariner, but a sidearmer, Clay Rapada. He's in his 2nd year as a Lugnut. 6'5", 185, 23 years old, from Virginia State. Strike 2 as Bobby fouls one straight back. That's what Rapada does, is he gets ahead of virtually every hitter, 0-2, and you know what happens when you're in the hole 0-2. It's hard to climb out. But I think Bobby Wilson can climb out of this 0-2 hole. No, he can't. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It didn't take Clay Rapada long to keep the Colonels from scoring any more runs. 1 run in the 7th for the Kernels on 2 base hits. A pass ball. There were no Lansing errors. The Kernels leave their 8th man stranded. And even though the Kernels have out-hit Lansing 10-5, the Lugnuts after 6.5 lead it 4-2. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Solid Waste and Recycling Services remind you how to prepare your garbage for curbside collection.
Oh, tell me more.
Make sure you use a 35-gallon garbage can or a large plastic bag. The weight limit is 40 pounds. If you have more garbage than fits in your can or bag, or weighs more than 40 pounds, buy a sticker.
How much are they?
A $1.25 sticker is required for each additional garbage can or bag you set out.
Where can I buy one?
You can buy garbage stickers at any grocery, convenience, or drugstore.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
We go to the bottom of the 7th. 10 hits for the Kernels, 2 runs. 5 hits for Lansing, 4 runs. Ronnie Ray is retired 6 straight Lugnuts. Ronnie in relief of starter Nick Touchstone. Will face Carlos Rojas, 2 for 2. A check swing roller cut off at third by Matt Brown. 7 straight retired by our dugout interview guest tonight, Ronnie Ray, who told us he prefers working out of the bullpen to starting. And Ronnie said the reason was the mental approach. He loves coming in and having to either keep the ball club ahead or keep us in the game, which he's done very effectively tonight. Nick Touchstone went 4 innings, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, struck out 1, walked 2. Ray delivers a strike to Ryan Fitzgerald, who has an RBI tonight. 1 run for the Kernels in the first inning, 2 in the second for the Lugnuts, 2 in the fourth for Lansing, 1 in the 7th for the Kernels. And the game will be decided by the Lugnut bullpen, how well it pitches. Swinging a foul into the backstop, and it's 1-2 to Ryan Fitzgerald, the right-handed hitter. This game could have been won early by the Kernels. We had 8 hits in the first 4 innings, but only scored a run. And that's why we're down 4-2. Breaking pitch just missed outside, and the count even now to the number 9 hitter, 2-2. Here in the bottom of the 7th, our Kernel of Wisdom focuses on Pee Wee Reese. Swing and a miss. Ronnie Ray records his second strikeout, fanning Ryan Fitzgerald. The batter, Chris Walker, 0 for 3, the league's leading base stealer. Our Kernel of Wisdom, Brooklyn's Pee Wee Reese, the only man to play in all 44 World Series games in the 7 fall classics between the Dodgers and Yankees. Well, first of all, can you believe the Dodgers and Yankees met 7 times and that Pee Wee Reese played in every one of the games? A shot to center. Quan Cosby 3 steps back, has it. Ronnie Ray, 3 perfect innings out of the Kernel bullpen. Ronnie Ray, for the 3rd straight inning, sets the side down in order. We'll continue with our Kernel of Wisdom talking about Brooklyn's Pee Wee Reese, the only man to play in all 44 World Series games in the 7 fall classics between the Dodgers and Yankees, when the Kernels come to bat in the top of the 8th. Trailing Lansing 4-2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Hawkeye basketball fans, it's never too early to be thinking hoops and hoops tickets. You can order yours now for the coming 2004-2005 season for Coach Steve Alford's squad. The Hawkeyes' home schedule is a good one. That includes 8 Big Ten games and dates with interstate rivals Iowa State and Northern Iowa. Horner, Bruner, Pierce, and the rest of the 04-05 Hawkeyes also get to avenge last year's season-ending loss to St. Louis and stage the annual Gazette Hawkeye Challenge at Carver Hawkeye Arena this winter. Season tickets, many season packages, and single-game tickets are available. Reserve your seats today. Go online at HawkeyeSports.com. Call the UI at 1-800-IA-HAWKS or purchase in person at the Iowa City Coralville Convention and Visitors Bureau Information Kiosk inside Coral Ridge Mall or at the Athletic Ticket Office in Carver Hawkeye Arena. And Hawk fans, don't forget, it's also volleyball season. Check out new coach Sidney Frederick's squad when you get a chance. It's fast-paced, high-quality, inexpensive family entertainment, black and gold style.
Honey, do I have to go to your family reunion? I mean, how many times can Aunt Agatha tell me about skydiving with monkeys?
It'll be different this time.
Cousin Bob won't talk about his nose hair?
North Country Steakhouse will be catering.
No way.
I can smell the steaks on the grill already. I wonder what kind of potatoes they'll have, baked, fried, or their famous garlic mash.
Aunt Agatha used to skydive with monkeys. Who knew?
North Country Steakhouse. Call 378-3970 to have us cater your next event, because good food conquers all.
Can I come, please?
Uncle Joe is making the Statue of Liberty out of cereal boxes.
Awesome, let's go.
We continue to focus on the positive with the Kernels down by a pair 4-2. Blake Balcom first up against lefty Clay Rapada. Strike one called. Kernel of Wisdom from Lansing, Brooklyn's Pee Wee Reese, the only man to play in all 44 World Series games in the 7 fall classics between the Dodgers and Yankees. The Dodgers won one of those 7 World Series. Ball one just missed from the soft-throwing lefty Clay Rapada to Blake Balcom. Blake's nothing for 3 tonight. The Kernels have right-hander David Austin in the bullpen. Corking one on the ground is short for the first out of the inning is Blake Balcom. One away. Clay Rapada gets Balcom and retires Blake for the 4th time tonight. In the bullpen for Lansing is Julio Mateo. Pee Wee Reese played in the 1941 World Series for the Dodgers against the Yankees. The Yankees won that series 4-1. Pee Wee played in the 1947 World Series as Matt Brown lifts one foul behind the plate, strike one. In the 1947 World Series, the Yankees beat the Dodgers 4-3. Pee Wee Reese played in all 5 World Series games in 49 when the Yankees took 4 of 5 from the Dodgers. In 1952, Pee Wee Reese played in another 7-game World Series. The Yankees won it 4-3. 1953, Pee Wee Reese played in a World Series for the Dodgers against the Yankees, all 6 games. The Yankees won the series 4-2. 1955, Pee Wee Reese played in the World Series against the Yankees, and the Dodgers won that World Series 4-3. Ball one outside to Matt Brown, and in 1956, Pee Wee Reese played in a 7-game World Series against the Yankees, won by the Bombers 4-3. Pee Wee Reese, 7 World Series against the Yankees. Ball 2 just missed outside to Matt Brown. Let's see, Pee Wee, I'll add up how many games the Yankees won in those 7 World Series. He played in 44 games. The Yankees won 6 of the 7 World Series. Matt Brown taps one foul in on his fist for strike 2. 4-2 in favor of Lansing, top of the 8th inning here at Oldsmobile Park. The Yankees won 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 23 and 4, 27. Now 44 minus 27 is, well, first the 2-2 to Brownie. Strike 3 called. 2 out here in the Kernel 8th inning. Second strikeout for Clay Rapada. In those 44 World Series games that Pee Wee Reese played against the Yankees in 7 World Series, the Yankees won 27 and the Dodgers won 17 of the games. Warner Madrigal takes low. Lansing looks like they're on their way to take the lead in this series. And the entire game turned around back in the Kernel fourth inning. Ball 2 to Warner Madrigal. Isn't it funny how one play can turn an entire game around? But that's what's happened tonight. Ball 3 low to Warner. Ronnie Ray, certainly one of the big positives in this game. Ronnie, 3 perfect innings in relief of Nick Touchstone. Clay Rapada with the 3-0 to Madrigal misses, a strike on the inside corner at the letters. 3-1 to Warner, who is singled and walked. He's 1 for 2. Clay Rapada ready with the 3-1. Grounded foul, pass first, strike 2. He got right in on the fists of Warner Madrigal. Rapada was in the hole, was behind in the count 3-0, and now it's 3-2 to Warner Madrigal. 2 away in the top of the 8th inning. The Kernels had runners at first and third in the 4th inning, trailing 2-1. Nobody out and failed to score. Swing and a miss by Warner, and Clay Rapada has retired the side in order in the 8th. Fanning the last 2 Kernel batters he faces. Rapada struck out 3 of the 4 Kernels. Looks like Lansing is going to cruise home in this one. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, it's 4-2 Lugnuts, and this is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Here's a deal that's hard to beat. Peck's Flower Shop is having a huge back-to-school houseplant sale through September 12th. Fill your dorm room, classroom, home, and office with healthy, lush houseplants. Peck's is offering all houseplants and hanging plants in 6-inch pots or larger at 50% off the regular price. Yes, all houseplants and hanging plants in 6-inch pots or larger are half off the regular price, cash and carry. Choose from all-time favorites, unique, new, and different varieties. Don't forget a new planter, potting soils, and free expert advice to help make your new houseplants grow their best. Check out Peck's Houseplant Sale right away for best selection. Peck's is open 7 days a week at the corner of Blairsbury and Edgewood Roads Northeast. Peck's, growing with the Cedar Rapids area since 1956.
Ronnie Ray, 3 shutout perfect innings in relief of starter Nick Touchstone, and now it'll be David Austin to pitch to the Lugnuts in the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-2 Lugnuts. We've out-hit him 10-5. David Austin, last pitch Thursday, at home in a Kernel win against South Bend. He went 2 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 3, walked none in an 11-5 Kernel win. Swing and a miss on a changeup by Tony McQuaid. He's 0 for 3. Two Nick Touchstone walks, a throwing error by a Kernel outfielder, and it's hard to believe we're trailing in this game, but we are. 1-1 now the count as David fires the strike called. Let's build on the positive. Let's continue to do that. Terrific relief pitching from Ronnie Ray. David Austin ahead of the switch hitter McQuaid, and he lines one past the mound into center for a base hit. The Lugnuts have their 6th hit of the game. David Austin got a glove up and almost caught that line drive, but it sailed past him into center for a leadoff single. David Austin has been a real stalwart out of the Kernel bullpen this season. David, 1-2 with a save, is on for the 26th time, a 3.48 ERA. Austin has given up 52 hits in 51 2/3, struck out 54 in 51 1/3, as he misses low and away to the number 3 hitter Brian DePerick, the league's leading home run hitter, is 0 for 3 tonight. David Austin has only walked 15 batters in 51 2/3 innings. A ground ball to the left side. Matt Brown throws to second out. Howie Kendrick to first, a double play. Oh, Matt Brown had to go quickly to his left, and his throw to Howie Kendrick got Tony McQuaid at second. Howie then delivered a strike to first to complete the Colonel first double play of this game. Around the horn it goes. 5-4-3. 5-4-3, the double play. 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the batter is Drew Larson. Ball 1 is low and away from David Austin to Drew Larson. Boy, I'll tell you what, you keep the top 3 in the Lansing order 1 for 12, and you should win the game. Deep drive to left. Way back is Balcom. Balcom at the wall, and it's off the top of the wall. Extra bases for Drew Larson. He's in with a double. Now they're calling it a home run. It's not a home run. That ball is not a home run, and I'll tell you why. I was told as part of a ground rule that if it hits the silver fence, it is not a home run, and now they've ruled it a home run. I believe they told me that if that ball hits the fence, it's not a home run. It did hit the fence. It hit the silver fence. We're going to ask Seth. Okay, the ball hit the railing, and we were told that if it hits the silver railing, it is in play, and that should not be a home run, although the plate umpire has ruled it a home run. And there is an argument now. They may send the runner back to second base. If the ball hits the fence above the wall, I did not think it was a home run. So let's double check. Mike Clark, a quick question for you. I was told before the game, any ball that hits the silver fence above the wall is in play, not a home run. Why are they calling that a home run? It did hit the fence. Okay. They're going to lose the argument, but with that ball, we're going to show Seth, that ball did hit the silver fence, and they've called it a home run. That's a tough call. That ball was not a home run, but they've called it a home run. It's 5-2 in favor of the Lugnuts. I'm going to leave the air I'll stay on the air. That ball hit the silver fence above the left field wall, and when Bobby Wilson did that the other night, they called it, in play. And the Kernels are robbed. That's a tough call. Well, we've said all night it's the Lugnut night, and it is. They'll win this game, but they've done it in a way that's a little bit disappointing. That was a double by Drew Larson, but the plate umpire ruled it a home run. It did hit. There's a silver fence above the wall, and that's what the ball hit. And the ground rule says if it hits that silver fence, a line drive to deep right, Warner Madrigal reaches up and makes the catch. Jake Fox's drive is caught by Madrigal. 1 run for the Lugnuts in the 8th inning, 1 hit. They rule it a home run. There were no Colonel errors, a double play, nobody left for Lansing. We go to the top of the 9th, and the Lugnuts lead at 5-2. This is Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services 1,000-minute Reader Recognition Day is Sunday, September 5th at 1 o'clock at Veterans Memorial Stadium. All you girls and boys who read 1,000 minutes this summer will be greeted on the field by the Kernels at 1 o'clock on September 5th to get autographs. You'll then be honored with a parade around the diamond. Order your tickets for Toyota Financial Services Reader Recognition Day by calling the Kernels at 896-7560. That's 896-7560.
Knowing who you are is important. At Kirkwood Community College, we know who we are. We are accessibility. We are quality. We are opportunity. We are community. Who are you? We can help you learn. Kirkwood.edu.
Your home is a powerful asset. Managed wisely, it can help you with home improvements, tuition, and other expenses. Wells Fargo Home Equity Financing is the key. With flexible terms, competitive rates, and affordable payments. Our bankers have the knowledge and resources to help you find the best financing for your needs. Talk with a Wells Fargo banker today and see how home equity financing can help you reach your next stage. Wells Fargo, the next stage, equal housing lender.
Bobby Magallanes still arguing with the plate umpire, who called a ball that hit a silver railing above the left field wall. And we asked about that when we came in here because Bobby Wilson hit that silver railing in the Kernels 2-1 loss Saturday night, and Bobby was given a double. Well, he made it to second. And so when Drew Larson hit the silver railing with 2 out in the 8th inning, he was at second, earning a double, but the plate umpire gave him a home run, his 11th of the year, and Bobby Magallanes is still arguing with the plate umpire. And it's just a simple matter. The plate umpire guessed. He had to. He didn't see it. If he'd have seen it, he would have called it no home run. But he had to guess. He flipped a coin, and unfortunately the Kernels came out on the wrong end of the coin flip. So it's 5-2 Lansing in the 9th inning, and ball 1 is high and away from right-hander Julio Mateo. Mateo will try to nail this one down for the Lugnuts, who have been out-hit 10-7. Brandon Wood grounds one to short, and he'll be thrown out by Rojas. 1 out here in the Kernel 9th inning. This is one of those games that you just have to write off and say, hey, let's go get him tomorrow. You can't cry about it or dwell on it or harp on it. You just go on and play the next game tomorrow night as hard as you played this way, and hope a few of the breaks go your way. Michael Collins has been a bright spot for the Kernels. He's 2 for 3, and he swings and misses. Clay Rapada, the setup man, retired all 4 Kernels he faced. Went 1 1/3, no runs, no hits. Struck out 3 of the 4 Kernels he faced and walked none. Michael Collins fouls one straight back, strike 2. We'll have a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, and as always, enjoy our Kernel plays, our Liberty Bank Kernel Star plays of the game after this one. Julio Mateo, our right-hander, on for the Lugnuts, and he fires high, ball 1 to Michael Collins. Michael lined a single into right in the second, doubled, went to third on a pass ball, and scored in the 7th inning to cut the Lugnuts lead to 4-2. It's 5-2 Lugnuts here in the top of the 9th inning. Ball 2 high and into Michael Collins. Julio Mateo is 4-1 with 7 saves. He's on for the 48th time out of the Lugnut bullpen, and he's trying to save this one for Billy Petrick, who would win his 12th game of the year, his second over the Kernels. Strike 3 called on the outside edge to Michael Collins. 2 gone in the Kernel 9th inning. Julio Mateo will now face the leadoff batter, Howie Kendrick. Nick Touchstone on the line for a loss that would make him 7-6 on the year. Ball 1 is low to Howie Kendrick. The Kernels have stranded 8. The Lugnuts have left 3 men on. Base is empty, 2 gone in the Kernel 9th, and a strike to Howie Kendrick. 5-2 Lansing. This game is only a little over 2 hours old, and a high pop-up will end it. Howie Kendrick's pop-up is caught in shallow left by the shortstop to end the game. It's 5-2 Lansing. Down in order go the Kernels in the top of the 9th inning, and Lansing is ahead in the series 2-1 following tonight's 5-2 victory. Totals, highlights, and more come your way next on the Kernel Curtain Call. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Been looking to buy a used car, truck, or van? If so, head to Select Auto now. All vehicles are priced to sell with bottom line pricing. Monthly bills getting you down? Can't afford the car of your dreams? No problem. Select Auto offers payment plans to fit around your budget. Select Auto also offers great warranties on all cars, not to mention their experienced and friendly staff in their full-service service department. Hate being chased around the lot by those annoying salespeople? At Select Auto, you won't be bothered by any salespeople. You deal directly with the owners. Got bad credit? Not a problem. They offer financing for any credit, good or bad. Still not sold? Purchase any used car over $5,000 and get $200 in free gas at any Handy Mart. Hurry in. This deal only lasts through the month of July. What are you waiting for? Visit either of Select Auto's 2 convenient locations. On 1st Avenue, downtown Cedar Rapids, or on 7th Avenue in Marion. Select Auto, a great way to buy a pre-owned car.
When we met, it's forget we would never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
There can be only one champion, one crown, the best. The Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM, the best damn sports radio station anywhere, invites you to choose the best lunch spot in CR. 4 teams will compete. Only one will win. Who's up for the challenge? Cabo Bar and Grill, the Double Inn, the Chrome Horse Saloon, and Chappie's Safari Lounge. They've each stepped up, spatulas at the ready, to face off in the noontime smackdown. Burgers, tenderloins, or blue plate specials. Each local eatery is ready to take a bite out of their competition and take home the title of Cedar Rapids' best bar and grill for lunch. You eat, then you vote for your favorite establishment online at thezone1600.com. Eat early, eat often. The Zone's 2004 Bar and Grill Tour. Because a man's gotta eat, don't he? It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Kernels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Well, thanks for staying with us for the Kernel Curtain Call as the Lugnuts derail the Kernels 5-2 here tonight. Another swiftly played game. Saturday night's Kernel 2-1 loss only took 2 hours and 3 minutes. Yesterday's Kernel 5-0 shutout victory over the Lugnuts, 2 hours and 24 minutes. And tonight's Lugnut 5-2 triumph only took 2 hours and 13 minutes. A failure by the Kernels to capitalize on 8 hits in the first 4 innings and a pair of leadoff walks drawn by the Lugnuts in the second and fourth off Kernel starter Nick Touchstone, the reason the Kernels dropped this game. Our Kernel Curtain Call starts by telling you the Kernels started this game with a boom. Howie Kendrick doubled past third, and after Juan Cosby struck out, Baltazar Lopez singled into left field, sending Kendrick to third. Bobby Wilson then gave the Kernels a 1-0 lead in the first with a sacrifice fly to center, driving home Kendrick. 1-0 Kernels in the first inning. A leadoff walk by Nick Touchstone to Drew Larson in the second inning led to 2 Lugnut runs. Jake Fox was robbed of a hit on a good play to his left by Kendrick at second. Drew Larson went to second. He stayed at second as Anthony Granado grounded out to short. But then Alberto Garcia, the number 7 hitter, singled into right field to score Drew Larson and make it a 1-1 game. The right fielder, Warner Madrigal, heaved a throw into the Kernel third base dugout, and that allowed the man who drove the run in with 2 out, Garcia, to wind up at third base. He scored as Carlos Rojas dumped a single into right, and Lansing led it 2-1. With that 2-1 lead, the Kernels put the leadoff man on for the third time in a row in the third inning. Juan Cosby singled to right, but was caught trying to steal second. The next man, Baltazar Lopez, singled, but the Kernels didn't score. And then the game got away from the Kernels in the fourth inning, trailing 2-1. the Kernels had runners at first and third with nobody out, and unbelievably, with Brandon Wood at the plate, didn't score. Brandon grounded one to third, and for the third time in the last 4 games, a Kernel runner raced in from third trying to score on a ground ball to third and was thrown out. Matt Brown was thrown out at the plate for the first out of the inning. Brandon Wood reached on a fielder's choice with Madrigal going to second. With 2 out, Howie Kendrick got the second Kernel hit of the inning, a single into left. Warner Madrigal was thrown out by the left fielder trying to score, so the game really hinged on that Kernel failure to score in the 4th inning. What happened in the bottom of the 4th? Jake Fox threw a leadoff walk, and he scored. That's because Anthony Granado singled him to second. Alberto Garcia with a sacrifice bunt moved the runners to second and third. Carlos Rojas, the .212 hitter, with his second RBI of the game, singled into right to score Jake Fox and make it 3-1. Ryan Fitzgerald with a runner at third, then bounced one to third. Matt Brown's only play was to first. He threw out Fitzgerald, but Granado scored to make it 4-1. The Kernels scored their second and final run of the game in the 7th inning. Michael Collins doubled into left center, went to third on a pass ball, and scored on a 1-out ground ball out off the bat of Quan Cosby to make it 4-2. In the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 out, Drew Larson doubled off the silver railing in left field, but the plate umpire called it a home run. Larson was given his 11th home run of the season. The double came off of David Austin, and the double was ruled a home run, even though it was not a home run, and that was the final run of the game as the Kernels went down in order in the top of the 9th inning. And again, the philosophy has to be, forget about it, come back tomorrow and play harder and play better. Lansing, 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left 3. The Kernels, 2 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. We stranded 8. The winning pitcher was Billy Petrick. He's 2-0 against the Kernels on the year, 12-6 overall. The losing pitcher, Nick Touchstone, is 7-6. A save to Julio Mateo, his 8th of the season and his 2nd of the series. We'll be back in just a moment to enjoy our Liberty Bank star play of the game. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Gas prices giving you the blues? Get into Randy Keel Honda and save with great fuel mileage on all Hondas in stock. Still need the SUV, you say? Well, the competitive CR-V will get 24 miles to the gallon. The safest, best family sedan, the Honda Accord, will definitely save the family pocketbook with 34 miles to the gallon. Save even more on gas mileage with the compact Civic, getting you there in 38 miles to the gallon. Or the amazing fuel mileage of the Honda Civic Hybrid, 48 miles to the gallon. And that is in the city. Randy Keel Honda has a huge selection of pre-owned Hondas, too, all with exceptional fuel mileage. Randy Keel Honda, the home of confidence, has many other pre-owned vehicles priced to move as well. Randy Keel Honda boasts the best prices in Iowa on new and pre-owned vehicles. Start the savings now and get into Randy Keel Honda, 4425 Centerpoint Road Northeast, or on the web at randykeel.com.
We're wrapping up a Lansing Game 3 victory that puts the Lugnuts ahead in this series 2-1, 5-2. The Lugnuts win it tonight. The Kernels with 8 hits in the first 4 innings, scoring just 1 run, and that was the difference in the game, as well as a pair of leadoff walks drawn by the Lugnuts in the 2nd and 4th innings. Boy, the Kernels have to be proud of the pitching they've gotten in this series. Jesse Smith was terrific in a 2-1 loss Saturday night. A shutout from Chris Hunter. 7 innings of 8 strikeout pitching yesterday, 5-0 Kernels. And the bullpen tonight, Ronnie Ray and David Austin. Ronnie Ray in particular, 3 perfect innings in relief of Nick Touchstone. Nick certainly didn't pitch poorly. The only thing he has to keep striving for is to cut down on his walks, because the 2 leadoff walks he issued tonight led to a pair of 2-run innings for the victorious Lugnuts. Liberty Bank, Iowa's fastest-growing community bank, is now proud to present our Liberty Bank star play of the game. First inning, first batter, Howie Kendrick facing starter Billy Petrick. Here's our Liberty Bank star play of the game. Howie batting .357 on the 0-1 delivery. Kendrick rips his pair past third, extra bases, into the left field corner. Howie Kendrick is steaming towards second as the left fielder Fitzgerald fumbles it but gets it back into the cutoff man. Howie Kendrick, who tripled In yesterday's Kernel win in the 7th inning that drove in a run and raised the Kernel lead to 4-0, Howie has cranked an 0-1 pitch fair past third down the left field line to open this game up for the Kernels. And what an opening it was. After Quan Cosby struck out, Baltazar Lopez singled Howie to third, and Bobby Wilson then drove him in with a sac fly to center. The Kernels led it 1-0. That is our Liberty Bank star play of the game, brought to you by Iowa's fastest-growing community bank, Liberty Bank. 5-2 Lugnuts. We'll return after this break with a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurants have something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco, limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
None of us can do anything about a bad day, but we can make certain nothing happens to all of our tomorrows. Take everything out of the hands of chance with a well-planned insurance program tailored specifically to your needs. Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, is an expert in insurance matters. Phil Andrews will develop the right insurance plan for your home, car, business, and life. Depend on Phil Andrews, your hometown professional with Pekin Insurance.
Our third segment of the Kernel Curtain Call following a Lansing 5-2 victory over the Kernels tonight has us checking all the scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. It's brought to you for the 9th straight year by State Farm insurance agents Lanny Peterson, Al Shetler, Gary Shubat, and Dale Thompson. Let's start in the American League. They're in the top of the 7th inning, and the Blue Jays lead the Red Sox at Skydome 3-0. At Jacobs Field in the top of the 6th, the Indians and Yankees are tied at 3. It's the Tigers bombing the White Sox 5-0 at Comerica Park. They're in the top of the 7th inning. The Twins lead the Rangers at the ballpark in Arlington 3-0 in the top of the 6th inning. Later tonight, Oakland hosts the Orioles. The Devil Rays and Seattle tangle at Safeco Field. And our surging parent club, the 2002 World Champion Angels, are entertaining the Royals. In the National League, they're in the bottom of the 6th inning at Olympic Stadium, and Montreal is trampling the Dodgers 7-1. Arizona and the Pirates are tied at 4 in the top of the 7th. That game is at PNC Park, 4-4, Diamondbacks and Pirates, top of the 7th. The Cubs are at Wrigley in the top of the 4th. They lead Milwaukee 2-0. And in the bottom of the 2nd inning at Minute Maid Park, Houston 4, the Phillies 2. That's our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard on the Kernel Curtain Call. We look forward to bringing you the 4th and final game of this 4-game series in the state capital of Michigan. The Kernels aiming for a split following tonight's 5-2 defeat. Jake was our in-studio engineer, and John Rogers wishing you a great rest of your Monday evening. 5-2 Lansing. 5:40 dugout interview time tomorrow. 5:40 dugout interview time tomorrow for the series finale. So long from Oldsmobile Park. You've been listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.